Can you imagine getting a text going, everyone got their passport, let's go to Paris on Monday, have dinner. Have some fucking...
We got to get on this text list.
Dude, I was in it, yeah.
Let's do it.
This is live.
No, hold on. This is live. Let's do this. No one will know where they're going. I'll have Felicia book all the travel. We'll fly somewhere. We'll land. We'll have dinner. We'll get on the plane. We'll go home. Let's go! Gentlemen, your tickets are in your inbox. We'll see you in 24 hours. Amsterdam.
Subscribe to the podcast, KFC Radio on YouTube.
Bang.
It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. It's Clancy and Feidelberg. It is the episode. This might be our most listened to ever.
You think so?
Well, just considering everything always is growing,
Yeah,
so
true,
then
true.
We're always at our biggest, and now this is the biggest thing.
That's very unfortunate because I'm not going to be on today.
but in a weird backwards way, being so off for today's podcast is proof positive of everything we're about to recap. So it's like,
Dude,
of course
I
you're
can't
retarded
read
right now.
I can't read. Like I can't read.
Okay, well, I'm happy to hear that. I have Alzheimer's. So I can't tell if I have early onset dementia or if I have Amsterdam brain or if Amsterdam brain has triggered my early onset dementia. I'll tell you about that in a minute. What we're going to do here is we're just going to go like plane to plane,
Okay.
door to door, wire to wire. We're going to
I
chronologically
wish I could stop sweating.
go
That would be
through it.
fucking ideal.
We're going to tell everything. I'll hear from my lawyers from it for sure. Also, you know, I know we waited, and I appreciate the wait. I think in years gone by, we would have like tried to record this right away just to get it out in time, and it would have not been as good. We took our time. We put out, you know, Mean Girls episode. Our official Tuesday episode is here. We appreciate the wait. I hope it'll be worth it. I hope this is one of those things. I mean, I think the stories are good enough that it'll be worth it, but it's also one of those things where it's like, you know, you wait a week to tell someone a story and they tell you, and you're like, okay, whatever. So you party with your friends. Great.
Right.
But there was some funny shit along the way. Nick actually, this is like the first time I've ever seen this from a producer here. Like, we have like a
It's prep sheet.
chronological
That's
script
good because
here.
I'm going to need it.
Yeah. I'm wondering if
I
there's going to
can't
be
read it,
moments.
but-
I'm wondering if there's going to be moments where I like say something and you are like, I don't remember that at
For
all.
sure.
Or,
That's gonna happen.
Yeah. And then we're going to have Maddie Smith come on, who also joined us, Girls on a God Trip. And we'll hear like her perspective because I wonder if there's things where she's like, no, that's not what happened. Whatever. So,
Well, I don't know. Maddie, I think, was the most. I don't know. I might have had to run for her money, but like Maddie
there's
was-
about like seven. There was like 7 people on the trip, and I would say like 5 of them could have been like the drunkest person of the trip. I will start from the beginning. Overall, though, I was so happy with myself. I was so proud of myself. I was not.
You reached back.
I'm not one of those people that you can like. I was one of the 2 who was not on the list, so that's not cool. I wasn't like the hardest partier, but I reached back, and I had the longevity. I never peaked as high as you guys did, but I went the whole time.
Yeah.
And I was proud of myself for that. I said it was like I came out of retirement, and I was not Jordan like on the Wizards where I was like, oh God, I wasn't Jordan wearing 23. I was Jordan wearing 45. Like he's back. Oh, but it's not quite the same. But he's still doing good.
Yeah.
And I feel like to go hang. I think what I really underestimate is how much of a booze bag I was and what my upbringing was. And I don't think many people, even the people who party hard now, I'm like, sometimes I don't think I realize how much I drank back in the day.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Bert, if he wanted to, probably could have been like shots, drink, chug, beer bong, like, and put me in my grave. But what we did that weekend, I was like, oh, I can do this. Like like it was like Costanza doing Frogger when he realized like he had the muscle memory. Wait, I can drink beer and smoke weed all day. I know how to do that.
It was very much a marathon.
But it was fun. Like they do it right, you know, because sometimes the people who are like, let's do shots, you know what? Let's do another one and let's do them at 3 a.m. And then those things like, sometimes it's like, well, you're going to ruin tomorrow. They do it right. They do it perfect. And it was very fun. And it goes without saying, we'll chronicle everything, but it goes without saying, like, thank you so much to Bert. We told him a million times, but we'll say it here too. So generous with his money, not only the tickets, but like, I mean, every time we tried to pull out a credit card, he was fucking whacking them away. And really, really generous with like not only his money but his time and the whole team, all of it. Amazing. Thank you so much, Bert. Would literally take a bullet for that guy. He can tell me to do like anything right now. For like, he called me up and was like, "I'm getting canceled and like because I like murdered a baby and I need you to like say it's okay." I'd be like, "Bert Kreischer's innocent. Publish." But it all begins. Some of the funniest moments I think weren't even like partying moments. So we get to the, let's see, where does the fun really begin? Because I know when we landed and we got in the cab, I had some belly laughs. But was there anything flying to there that was anything
I don't
noteworthy?
think so.
No. The only thing I'll tell you this much, my feet, all of our feet, swolled up like a
that was
motherfucker.
crazy. Yeah.
I woke up, so I got good sleep because it was a like 8 o'clock flight through the night. Had some assistance, you know.
By the way, I strongly recommend flying to Europe on a Tuesday because
nobody was on the plane.
It was an empty plane. Like I think we flew to United. No, Delta. Delta lost money on that flight.
I will say this: the number one question I got. Did Bert fly you first class? I was like, you vain, superficial, materialistic motherfuckers. Like, Bert could have strapped us to the back of the plane on duct tape, and I would have gone. But I tweeted, no, Bert didn't get us first class. He got us economy. But look, he rented out the whole section. He bought all of these seats. There is, like, levels of rich and successful. People believing that you bought an entire section of a plane is a level of rich and successful. I don't even think Bert thought he was. Like, there's like, oh, did he buy first class? Oh, did he fly you private? And then I said, no, he bought all of the tickets around us just so we could have the whole middle section of business economy. And people go, that's dope. I knew Bert was a baller. No, Bert did not buy 30 tickets for us. He bought 2. They were, we did, it's funny because this is one thing I can say before the real like story starts. The first class thing was like a debate because it was just like, you know, how rich is Bert and how does he fly and what's going to happen? And he later told us that Leanne was like, "Who are these boys? Well, how much are they going to cost us? What are we doing here?" Because first class was $15K each. And Leanne was like, "We ain't doing that for these boys. What are we doing?" And Bert was like, "Okay, but they're not flying coach." So Leanne, who's awesome, and I genuinely believe, if we ever did a wife draft, Bert, I'm drafting your wife number 1 overall. Like there's so many times Bert would like FaceTime with her, whether they were talking business or like talking about a piece of content that came out or just a family update, and they just, you know, for a relationship that probably makes little sense to a lot of people. Bert's always traveling and talking crazy and, you know, just a lot of people, and I'm sure a lot of other relationships couldn't go through what they go through. They have awesome marriage, like the gold standard, if you ask me. So anyway, the first class thing, no, we flew, but like, you know, middle ground, they were nice. But, you know, you're still sitting upright. And I mean, when I woke up, I looked down at my feet and I was like, I have hooves. And so did you, and so did everybody, even the Amsterdam guys, like Bert's crew. And we were all like, what do you think that is? And I Googled it. I'm like, blood levels of circulation, elevation, whatever, all weather, all the shit. And it was like, you were sitting down too long. Yeah. If you sit for 8 hours, all the blood pools up in your feet. And I was thinking, I sit down a lot. I like sitting, but I don't think you just sit in a chair for 8 hours.
No, fuck no.
You know, so our feet were, I was walking around with like clopping around with horse hooves the whole time. So, but when we get there,
just for the sake of the story, I did not sleep on the plane.
Yeah, you say that.
You didn't sleep on the plane?
No, I can't sleep on planes. And there was a woman right next to me, and I couldn't spread out at all. I couldn't get up. She never got up, so I just stayed there, tried to sleep.
That's the worst. That it's also so funny that you say it like that because you absolutely can't get up. But also,
oh no,
like, I would
in the middle of the night.
I have a question for you. So we sat. You had aisle. I had window. We got up to pee, and when I came back, I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna sit in one of these other seats that are empty." If I didn't do that, would we have just sat side by side, even though there was all those empty seats for all 8 hours?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was offended you moved.
I knew it. I was offended you didn't move. I was sitting there. I was like, he's really not going to stretch out. We're going to sit next to each other and cramped up when we have like 8. Like there was literally 3 or 4 rows of 3 seats.
Completely empty.
Yeah. And he just was sitting next to me.
That's
Kevin,
I
the thought never crossed my mind.
It was
Like right
crazy.
now, I'm
I was like,
what are you talking about?
I can't turn to him and say, "Get up and go." Go.
like in my head, that's illegal. You can't do that. That's just not allowed. Like
I
sat
sat in the other aisle seat, and I was able to like lay down basically. Otherwise, we would have just sat side by side in like the front corner of the plane when a whole goddamn cabin was empty.
Yeah.
Crazy. You're a crazy person.
I was
and I
in my
knew it.
assigned seat.
I said,
What if the plane crashed? They would have been like, whose body is this? He's not.
He's dead.
This isn't what the manifest was.
when I came back from the bathroom, I think you had come back first, and I came back second, and I was like, I'm just gonna go here. Can you just like pass me my thing? So I was like, I felt like I was like leaving a date early. Like, you know what? It's just not working out. I'm just gonna pull the ripcord now. Anyway, we landed in Amsterdam with fucking swollen feet. So, and this is after we wait, the plane. Yeah. I forgot. There is good stuff.
The one time I was about to fall asleep on the plane is when the announcement came on.
Right.
Is there someone a doctor on board?
Right.
Bro,
so we also link up with Maddie on the plane. Maddie Smith, funny comedian in New York. She found out about this trip 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks earlier, she knew that Bert was going to surprise us. He was saying, "Why don't you come to Amsterdam and open up for us in a couple cities in Europe?" So she came along and she knew all this time and didn't say anything, you fucking shifty, shady bitch. So it's the three of us and Maddie. And I am happy to report that if there is ever a emergency on an airplane, I am quite literally useless because I woke up like as we were landing. I pretty much slept like the whole time. And I look at my phone and I had texts from you guys saying, "What? Who was that? Is everything okay?" And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And apparently, just like out of the movies, they had one of those, "Is anybody on the plane a doctor?"
But then they didn't do anything,
right?
Like, I think they just let the guy die. It's like the plane didn't turn around.
They just like, you know, when they flush like the bathroom, like the piss and the shit just like falls out of the bottom. And they just sent a guy out of the bottom of the plane.
We were probably like 2 hours into the trip, and I was like, fuck, we're gonna have an emergency landing in like Iceland.
Yeah.
And because this was such like a planned out trip, like Bert had a show. Yep. Bert wasn't gonna hang around waiting for us.
Nope.
So I was like, we're gonna miss this fucking trip because this guy.
Because some fucking Odell Beckham is causing a scene back there. I mean, not only did it's not like I would have been able to help, but I didn't even like stir. I didn't hear anything. Was there like commotion, like running up and down the aisles?
Not
so it couldn't have been that big of a thing. But but like someone was like, we were up front. It's like, "Are you okay?" John was like, "Anybody have eyes on Maddie? Is she all right?" We get off the plane. We're like, "Maddie, was that you?"
Were you the medical emergency?
Dude, I got my period.
She's like, "Yeah, I got my period." It was fucking great. Brought the house down as soon as we landed in Amsterdam.
If you're missing that final piece to level up your life, Movement is the new favorite watch brand. Their small team of dreamers in Venice Beach, California have perfected sleek, original, ultra clean watch design. And for Valentine's Day, they're going all out with a huge sale so you can give the most thoughtful, tried and true lasting gift, a Movement watch. It's perfect for guys because sometimes you don't know what to get a guy for Valentine's Day. And you're like, you don't get them like chocolates and flowers. What do you get them? Get them a Movement watch. It's perfect and affordable. It doesn't cost you $2,400, just off the top of my head. Watch price of $2,400 is not what we're talking about here. We are talking about affordable watches with elegant, precise Japanese watch movements and industry-leading materials, from complex ceramics to sophisticated automatics, solar-powered dials to upcycled ocean plastic cases. The epitome of bang for your buck, with huge value and style on your wrist, that your wrist and wallet will both love. A tried and true gift for everyday confidence. You've got the hookup with our friends over at Movement. Save big on your Valentine's Day gift with 20% off at MVMT.com. Use code Kevin. That's MVMT.com. Code Kevin for 20% off the guy or the gal in your life for Valentine's Day.
So we had some sort of medical emergency on the plane. We get to Amsterdam. We hop in a cab, and we get a tour from like Mr. Amsterdam, right? Like, on the left is this, and on the right is this. Yeah, Christian from Amsterdam, giving us the regular spiel, sports, culture, and then all of a sudden just goes, "Oh, and this is like the academy. Did you know the youth they don't believe in the Holocaust? They don't think it happens. They don't teach this in school anymore. The Holocaust. This is not real."
Watching too much YouTube.
And I'm, first of all, you motherfuckers, You all left me out to dry.
Bro.
You, like, Band of Brothers, watch it one time. I was sitting shotgun, and then we're in, like, a van, basically. And they were all chiming in when we're talking about
Soccer.
fucking soccer and all the culture and the pancakes and shit. And then he decides to say that the youth of Amsterdam doesn't believe in the Holocaust and that it's not being taught in the academies. And all of a sudden, crickets from the back. And I'm the opposite. I was crickets the whole time during the small talk because I don't give a fuck about that shit. And so I just go, well, no, it's definitely a thing that happened. So yeah, the Holocaust is for sure a thing that happened. I needed to make sure our boy Chris John wasn't a denier too. He was like, oh, yes, it happened.
Bro, I didn't care one way or the other.
Just get me to where I'm going.
I sat back so fast. I learned, like,
you son of a bitch.
if someone came up to me and was like, the Holocaust didn't happen, I'd be like, I'm not gonna correct you.
Right.
Like, that is
true. That's one of those, like, it's not, you're a lost cause.
Right.
We're not going to meet some middle ground here.
The youth is forgetting the Holocaust. They don't know anymore what happened. Yeah. If you see the details, you read the books, scary shit.
Yeah, man, it was pretty fucked up, wasn't it?
What they do with people in camps. To your own neighbors.
And it was a long time ago, so I guess
80 years.
eventually people stopped.
They say no, it doesn't happen. They don't know. They don't want to know.
Oh, wow. Nah, that happened. Confirmed.
Yeah. People are able to do that.
Yeah. Wow.
You need a recession.
So yeah, start off on the Holocaust foot. I'd imagine Amsterdam's one of the places that should really know about it, considering the Anne Frank Hotel and all that.
Yeah.
And we'll get to the Anne Frank house in a little bit. But yeah, they should really know. And it was Holocaust Remembrance Day, like yesterday or some shit. So we were
was it?
Friday it was. So
I remember every day.
not just the one where Jews were killed. I remember all the days. And then
I remember the Holocaust every day.
Then everything begins. Like, we landed at 9. We were at a bar by like 10. Because I was thinking, like, I don't know, maybe Bert's gonna work out. Maybe Bert's got to do a podcast. Like, no. We barely had time. I didn't even drop my bags in my own room. My room wasn't ready. Dropped it in John's room. We hit the bar. Like 10 a.m. I'm 40 years old. Let's go. I was fucking so nervous to kick it off that early. I was thinking we were at least gonna get to like lunchtime or something.
Yeah.
10 a.m. joint in hand, pints in hand, just crowded around like a small table, and the juice and the stories just start fucking flowing.
That was that moment when I smoked the joint. I was like, all right, this is gonna be tough.
Well, I was happy to learn though, and people told me this going in, that the weed in Amsterdam is actually light compared to the weed in America, because America got legalized and medicinal and all that shit, and now it's like, put you on your ass.
Scientists make it.
Right.
It's not like your fucking weird high school buddy growing up in his room.
I think it's still the weirdos who don't believe in the Holocaust making fucking weed over in Amsterdam. So yeah, we like right away, there was like a table of, and by the way, Bert's crew's awesome. He's got, Maddy was with him, but Mark Smalls and Shane Torres, the guys opening for him, and Pete and John Mans, the guys who like run his whole production. So we have like a good table, but only like, I don't know, there's like 7 of us, and there was 3 joints going around. I was like, this seems a little unnecessary. But yeah, right away it was like joint to the face, pints to the face. And I was like, it is 10:17. I was like, I made it about 17 minutes so far, and I am fucking stoned. But when you do these things like ATI type conversations, when you're sitting with your friends and you're like, who would be your drinking crew? Or who, if you could have one night or one pint or sit down at dinner or one night in Amsterdam with, like, don't know if I could script a crew of people.
No.
Like Bert, everybody knows, but even like the guy opening for him, Mark, who's a comic in his own right, and he has a golf podcast, country club adjacent, like, just like, and then Shane, like the perfect crew to like really go after it.
I mean, the fact Tasha was there, who's just a local Bert had.
Bert has Amsterdam Dutch locals in his back pocket. This girl who, Tasha, she worked on The Machine with him in Serbia, was kind of like his assistant / tour guide. He brought her out. So we had like a fucking our own local tour guide who wasn't like a tour guide though. She's just like a young college chick. So it wasn't like this lame, like on your left is the blah, blah, blah. She was just like, I know the dope spots. Here we go. It could not have been a better crew to do it. But I mean, you know, we went straight through. We didn't stop. Like we had 1 3-minute shower and a couple hours of sleep each night, but we went starting there the whole fucking time.
Yeah, I'm feeling it now.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like John's like, yes, correct.
Dude, it's not only just that. Like, obviously, I have like a wet brain right now, but also just like my body's so fucked up from the time that like I was in bed last night at 6 p.m., but then I woke up this morning at like 4 a.m. and then I was trying to catch up when I woke up, so I took melatonin, but didn't take enough to fall asleep.
This guy's on 20 milligrams already. We ruined him.
Really?
We got him addicted to the melly.
I took 15 milligrams of melatonin at like 4 o'clock this morning and have not been to bed yet.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just like
well. So before we even go out, we go up to Bert's fucking palace in this hotel. He has the top suite, like the top of the building. It looked like literally like a palace, like where like the royals would stay. He was staying in the Napoleon suite, and we walk in.
Had a personal butler.
Personal butler named like Emilio or some shit like that.
He was Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah, he looked exactly like Rudy Giuliani. It was crazy. Rudy Giuliani in one of those classic like penguin tuxes, like with the tails and everything. And he was like, anything you need, Mr. Kreischer. I think he had just served him for Bert did Winston Churchill the day before.
Yeah.
Winston Churchill Day is like where you wake up and you do exactly what Winston Churchill does on his birthday. It's like you drink gin and whiskey and champagne and have a cigar and eat your breakfast and you do this crazy day of drinking. So he had this butler working for him. And Bert had told us one thing and one thing only, wear red. So we go out to this place, Abracadabra in New York, which is like half Halloween costumes, half like movie props. And we were like, you know what? If Bert tells us to get red, we're not just going to wear like a red t-shirt. Let's go all out. So I bought this like 70s disco tassel-y jacket, and we had the red suits from the Pup Punk performance, and John finds a onesie, one-piece, bell-bottoms, disco button-up, long-sleeve kit. And when we get there, we walk in, and we come to find out, we thought we heard something about red dinners in Amsterdam, which is like, I think you like eat off a naked woman and then kill her. We heard all these rumors about what the red could possibly be for. We walk in and Bert explains to us that he likes to celebrate the Chinese New Year and that their color is red. So Bert's just wearing a red hoodie and red sweatpants. We now have nothing normal red.
He was saying, put on a t-shirt.
Yeah, he said, just go. He goes, you could put on a red scarf if you want. You just have to have something red. I was like, oh, we have something red.
Jesus, you said to bring red, bro. Dude, we heard have something red, and I was like, I don't know what it's gonna be, so like, let's get fucking red shit, dude.
Now I put on the Pup Punk red suit, which is cool. It's a blazer and some like pants. It's bright red, but it's still just a shirt and jacket. John's red onesie bell bottoms, I think, are the coolest piece of clothing of all time. Like, trying to think of the other moments in fashion. There's like J-Lo's green dress. There's McConaughey when he wore like the black and navy tux at the Oscars. There's the Billy, what's his name? The black guy, gay guy who wears like
Porter.
Billy Porter wearing his gowns. And then there's John in the bell bottoms. That picture, I wish I wasn't in it. I wish I wasn't in it. I cropped myself out of it and posted it. John,
why?
because you are having such a moment. I'm like caught in the middle. Like I was taking my hand out of my pocket and I was like, I was talking. I'm not posing for a picture. You got the cigarette up and the bell bottoms are flapping like perfectly in the wind. Yeah. You've got the great overcoat on. You kind of look like Popeye. You kind of look like Steve Zissou, the fucking right, like or Jacques Cousteau or whatever. I feel like you look like with that hat, you look like a a diver. Yeah. The collar's out, and I mean, people were like, "Yo, this is like Harry Styles level fit. Like Mark is who's on the trip with us, Mark Smalls, West Coast guy, big hair and beard. You can tell into fashion and style. And he was like, I'm so jealous of you guys.
I don't think I realized that the fit was getting this much attention.
Oh my god!
You didn't in the moment?
No.
Oh my god, dude! It was, and the funny thing was, for whatever reason, the middle button just wouldn't stay buttoned. So John's belly button was just out. It wasn't even like he was fat or anything. It just wouldn't stay buttoned. So he'd be like eating and moving, and all of a sudden just be like, belly button.
Dude, I would keep catching a glimpse of it. I'd be like, God damn it, dude.
Man, that fit was so fucking cool. I have so many pictures of just like, I just took like candid snaps of you when you were like smiling or in like motion, and your bell bottoms are just like swishing in the wind or whatever. It was, I mean, it was, so the point being, I almost had bought sweatpants and a red jacket, and that would have been like what Bert was looking for. I'm so happy we went the other way.
Yeah.
Because we were getting so many. I'm happy. Like if I wore my tassel jacket, I think that would have looked stupid. Your fit looked good. My suit was like, it was this red suit, and it was turning heads, and it made the Chinese New Year thing. Bert said on Chinese New Year, you wear something red, you gamble, you eat noodles, and you be loud.
Yeah.
So those were our 4 things that we were going to go do. So we had the red. We went out to a Chinese food restaurant, and Bert ordered the entire menu.
It was
to the point that his tour manager said, I've also managed tours with Christina Aguilera, and she orders food. Bert orders food the same way Christina Aguilera does, except that Christina Aguilera does it for like 300 people. Bert was doing it for 7. I mean, we got every single thing, and we were all I was pretty stoned at that point, and the Chinese food restaurant had robots deliver your food.
Crazy.
They had these little like shelves. These robots just would zip around, but then a human would come give you the plate. So it's kind of like, this isn't replacing anybody. This is just expensive. So all of a sudden we got on a conversation about replacing Asian employees. It got real weird real quick. But we like stuffed ourselves with noodles. We had the red on. We obviously were being loud. We checked that box really fucking quick.
very quick.
Very quick. And I'll say this, when you're out and about with Bert Kreischer, it's one thing when we're in America and New York City and even like LA, we are lucky enough that people recognize us all the time and we take pictures and all that shit. Getting recognized abroad in Amsterdam is very, very different than getting recognized like in New York City or like the Northeast. And Bert was getting bombed like everywhere we went, bombarded with people. He's the machine.
Yeah.
I said
that was the
Customs agent.
customs agent.
So right when we were passing through customs, Maddie will be able to tell her her side, her version of the story even better. But Maddie steps up, and I think he was flirting with her. Maddie's a cute girl. He was like a young guy, and he's like, "So what are you here for?" And she's like, "Bert Kreischer. He's a comedian. Takes his shirt off. You know that guy." And he's like, "There's a what's it called, language barrier or whatever," and she starts joking with him. It was funny when she finally crossed through. She was like, I just murdered that set because she was making him laugh, whatever. But she goes through, and then Fight steps up, and what? How did it?
He was just like, because I was gonna lie and say we were there for pleasure, but because we were all laughing together, he's like, so what is the show tonight? And I was like, it's tomorrow night. And he's like, but what's the name? And I said Bert Kreischer, and I started spelling it for him. And first of all, he was writing. I don't know that people in Amsterdam use the alphabet,
the American alphabet.
I don't know
if he actually confirmed. I think they do though, because all
he
the
had
menus were in American. Like
true, good point.
They all had regular letters, the regular 26 letters.
He was right.
They don't use 9s. My room number was 20G, and that was a fucking
the number 1 is apparently a V on my skateboard. We'll get to that too. Like they write funny. Put it that way.
Yeah,
they definitely write funny.
And I'm spelling it for him. It's Kreischer. And he goes, "Oh, Russian?" And I went, "I actually don't know what Bert is."
No, but thinking Russian because of the machine and all that shit.
I was like, no. I was like, maybe he's Russian because he got famous for like a Russian story.
Yeah.
And he's like, He goes, oh, I know him. It's the fat one.
It's the fat one.
I was like, yeah.
Which is so fucked up. Because, by the way, we went back and we looked at the video when Bert first gave this idea when he was on the podcast in Nashville. Heavens to Betsy, Bert was enormous. And he's trimmed down considerably. But it's like the Jonah Hill effect. We've always said it. Once you're a fat guy, you're a fat guy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the fat one. Bert, the fat one Kreischer. So we eat like a ton of noodles, and you guys ate some duck feet.
Oh, God.
Do you remember that?
That's gonna
They
be
said to me, yeah, you might want to cover yours for this one. The duck feet come out like literally just like the 3 like fingers, or whatever, toes, and
chicken feet, not duck.
Chicken feet. And they say to me, you don't actually eat them. Just chew it up and get the cartilage and the fat and then spit it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this isn't food at all. You don't eat it. You just chew up the fucking grinds and get a little bit of flavor and then spit it out like it's a sunflower seed, except we're talking about chicken cartilage and chicken fat. So these animals are like popping these sizable like velociraptor claws into their mouth and just chewing up chunky, rubbery, cartilagey fucking bleh, and then pulling them out of their mouth and leaving it on a plate. And I was disgusted. You tried. Did you end up doing it?
The first one was a no.
Yeah.
And then like Bert kind of explained it to me a little bit better how to eat them. And
again, it's how to chew them.
Yeah, but now you chew like a little. I mean, you chew the cartilage off. But like the first one, I just popped in like it was a chip, and then that did not. I mean, it still has fingernails on it. And then
chicken fingernails in Amsterdam at a Chinese restaurant. Oh my God!
But then the second time I picked it rather than put the whole thing in my mouth. It wasn't that bad.
I guess it's like eating a wing, like you get around the bones and the ligaments and those tumors and shit. But I ate some. It was all very good, just regular like Chinese food, but very good. But I ate one type of sushi roll thing. It wasn't sushi roll, but it looked like a sushi roll. Brown meat of some sort, hot. I popped it in, and it did not taste good, and it did not agree with me. We already had several beers, and I was pretty stoned, and I almost threw up then.
Really?
I got up and went to the bathroom, and I needed a moment of like, got to get through this one. But yeah, that was a feast for sure. And then we got to check the gambling box. So we go to a casino.
This show is sponsored by Betterhelp. When you're at your best, you can do great things, but sometimes life gets you bogged down and you may feel overwhelmed or like you're not showing up the way that you want to. Working with a therapist can help you get closer to the best version of you, because when you feel empowered, you're more prepared to take on everything life throws at you. I know anytime I talk and get all my feelings off my chest, I feel a relief, and I feel like I can focus more, and I do much better, whether I'm talking about work or whether I'm talking about parenting or just being the best person I can be. If you're thinking about giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, flexible, affordable, and entirely online. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get you matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime. No additional charge, no hard feelings. They will switch until they get it right for you. If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/KFC today. Get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/KFC.
So we go to a casino.
But before that, outside of the casino, we hit the Pancake House.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was after the pancakes. People told me.
Immediately following Chinese food, we got pancakes.
Well, it was dessert. It was dessert. We went to a pancake house. Everybody said to me, you got to eat the French fries and you got to eat the pancakes. And I was like, how fucking different can French fries and pancakes be? I know that there's good fries and bad fries. You have your McDonald's crispy ones. You have your soggy ones, whatever. Pancakes, I love that diner. But like if you make me Bisquick pancakes at home, I'm happy. How different could these things be? The French fries were spectacular and the pancakes were maybe the best thing I ever put in my mouth.
The pancakes were
They were like fluffy. We also got that you can get big ones that are like crepes, or you can get little ones that are like silver dollars, but they're like puffy, a little bit air puff, but also still doughy. And they make Nutella ones, they make whipped cream ones, they do strawberries and cream, apple. I got the Nutella one, John. I'm telling you, I think it's my favorite food of all time.
It was.
I
it was
could eat-
genuinely.
How many do you think you could eat? I could eat, I think, no
40.
joke. Huh?
I was gonna say 40.
Oh, easy. I think I could, being realistic, not just saying like 300. I think I could have 120 of those.
Really?
I ripped through 12 in what, like 30 seconds? I was just like,
No problem.
It was like, and then I ordered a glass of milk. It was on the menu, and the guy goes, milk? I said, yeah, milk. And he goes, you want just a cup of milk? I said, yes, I want a cup of milk. Give me my milk. I'm having fucking chocolate pancakes. Give me my milk. So that was fucking delicious. It was funny. It had a lot of powdered sugar, and Bert was eating them, and the powdered sugar was all down his belly, and it just looked like we were like fucking banging out rails of cocaine. Like, it just looked like a coke-covered Bert Kreischer eating pancakes. Like, oh my God, it was so good. Along the way, by the way, Bert was like, I wanted to have you guys out here to talk shop. So in between all of these meals and all the partying we're about to do, we were just having like awesome conversations about podcasting and the comedy industry and comedy gossip and all that shit. It was like my dream come true. It was like, oh, we can talk shit about some people and eat some pancakes while we're getting high and stoned. And like, yeah, let's go. So we go to this casino. And the thing that we failed to realize as we did the whole city was that we were going out on a Tuesday at 4:00. So we go to a casino, and it was, now to be fair, no matter what hour of the day or what day of the week, this was a grim scene. But we go to a
It was Thursday, right?
It was Wednesday.
It was Wednesday. So we're like mad that a casino is not rocking before like school even lets out, you know? But we get there and they are.
That's what casinos typically are like.
Yeah.
Casinos are pretty sad places.
True. But I mean, I've seen some bleak settings in like Atlantic City in Jersey.
Yeah.
And even this was like, you.
Yeah, it was basically everyone, whether they literally were or not, was an old woman on oxygen.
Yes. You could have actually been one or metaphorically one.
Yeah.
Pulling your slots, ripping your cigs while you have your oxygen at the same time. But first, we couldn't get in because Bert Kreischer had on sweatpants. And they were like, our dress code won't allow sweatpants. And I was like, but he's rich. It's like, he's the rich one. This guy will spend all of his money at your casino. Just let him in.
You kept just being like, but he has the money. He's going to spend the money.
This is where he gives you money and you say, okay. So Bert, of course, though, like, he could have easily done like a, do you know who I am type moment. He was like, okay, sent his assistant. He was like, go to the pants store and get me some pants. Like the pants store.
In the pants store, just funny side note, TK Maxx. It's TJ Maxx.
Nope,
they
TK
just
Maxx over
switch
there.
out. I don't know if they don't have J's.
It was funny. Bert was
Yeah.
so afraid. He goes, oh my God, there's not a pair of pants from Europe that's going to fit me. And so we were all being assholes. We're like, get like quadruple XL. He was like, all right, well, come on. Now. His boy Pete comes back with, I believe, 38, 32 jeans or something like that. And he was like, and they were stretchy. And he was like, my man, like, that's why you're my assistant. But before that even mattered, the guy came and found us in like a little bar downstairs and was like, I am so sorry for the mix up. Like, come right this way. So somebody was like, that's Bert Kreischer. Let him the fuck in. Took 20 minutes to get into this casino. I don't know what the rules are there. You have to give them your address. They have to punch you in. They have to call a guy.
Nuts.
It took legit like 20 minutes to get all of us in.
And we were going in to place one roulette bet. That was it.
That was it.
The
whole thing was we were going to go. Bert wanted to put 1,000 on red. I said, I'll match it and I'll do it with you. And the vibes were off so many times. It was like the universe trying to tell us, don't go in there.
Yeah.
And Bert was like, you know what? Let's pull the plug. And then he was like, wait, no, we gotta. But it was the most, I could feel the tension of like, this is just not right. I put roulette, 1,000 on red and roulette, instantly gone. It was like, I was like, you know, I didn't want to, I kind of got there late and I was like, can I still bet? And he's like, yes. And I put it down. I hear, boom, black, gone. See you later. Ripped the whole table down. It was like the fastest I've ever lost $1,000.
At least you got money.
Yeah,
I couldn't even get money out.
we stupidly, we went to Amsterdam and we didn't call our phone company or our credit card company. So like our phones didn't work and our credit cards wouldn't work. So we couldn't even get money. I eventually got in contact with Chase and I got $1,000 and just immediately threw it down the garbage. But before we even got to the roulette table is when the first hurdle set in for Feidelberg.
Oh,
because
God.
when we were at the pancake house, in between there, we stopped off at one of the mushroom sales, one of the mushroom shops. And we got some heavy duty mushrooms. It's so cool. They have the whole array. If you've never been, they have all these different names from like Flying Hawaiian to the Philosopher's Stone. They all these different
Dragon's
names.
Breath. I think
Dragon's
there's one,
Breath.
something like that.
And they have these ratings like visual image, body high, head high, whatever else. And they had their rating system was Saturns. It was how many Saturns out of 5. So this was like 4 out of 5 Saturns says you're gonna get a visual high. I was
that
like, that
sounds like
makes
something
sense.
like Michael Scott would come up with the idea.
It sounds like someone on mushrooms. Be like 4 out of 5 Saturns say I'm high right now. But they said, don't take it on an empty stomach, or
No.
do take it on an empty
Yeah,
stomach.
they said,
do take it on an empty stomach. We took it after a fucking massive meal. Take it with a piece of chocolate.
piece of
You didn't
chocolate.
do that.
No.
John didn't do any of the things they
We
told
had,
us to do.
we had like 9 meats, a bunch of pancakes, some noodles, and then 8 mushrooms on top of it.
And it was not like, if you've done mushrooms before here, it was not like your freeze dried.
Oh, they were like wet.
They were wet. They were
Yeah.
fresh, like truffle
Yeah.
mushrooms in a case that was sealed. I think they only are like good for a day and then they get rid of them.
Oh, really?
Or like a matter of like days. Yeah, if you're watching the video, you can see here. So they come in these little plastic cans, cases. Mine had like a date that was like, used by, because I think it's like, this is a fresh fucking vegetable, or fungi, whatever the fuck mushrooms are. So
The
Mick Microdose is
Mick
funny.
Microdose is a great name.
And John, went in Rome, went in Amsterdam, went and popped those mushrooms. I will say I was a pussy and didn't do the mushrooms because of what can happen. Because I was like, I know my stomach and I know my fucked up, depressed, demented brain, the bad's going to come out. And I was like, if I had like 2 weeks or a week there, I would have done it.
Mhm.
But I was like, we have 2 nights and I don't want to ruin one whole night, be like hugging the bowl all night long. But John is a much more experienced partier than I am. And he said, we're doing it. And his body said, no, we're not.
I threw up. That was probably the most I've ever thrown up in my life.
Really?
I threw up. I mean, I had so much food in me.
Oh, that's
I threw
right.
up.
Yeah.
Dude, it was
that
like
picture. That's the one I posted. I love that picture of you, bro. You look so. That was like the calm before the storm.
Yeah,
It
that
was right
was-
before you. I was super high.
Bro,
I was so stoned.
and then what was crazy? So I was like, obviously I didn't want to like make a scene in front of everybody. So I like casually,
Almost got away with it.
You
almost got away with it.
So close to the bathroom.
I had already thrown up outside.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I went out.
Wait, so when did you first throw up?
I almost puked outside too.
I threw
You
up.
puked before we went in the casino?
Yeah, I puked at that other bar, the one we went to between the pancake shop, whatever. I just casually got up, walked outside, and like just stood there and just like puked
I
twice.
did
like,
not
"Bleh,
know that.
bleh," and then went back in.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I went back into the.
And you thought you were in the clear?
I thought I was in the clear, and then back in the casino again.
Well,
Was
that
like-
casino, again, the vibes, the smell, the look. I'm sure your body was like, we're going to puke because of this casino. Forget about the mushrooms. But I just had this image. I turned from the ATM and I see John going to the bathroom, but pretty hastily. And in front of him is this tiny little old Asian woman. And she, if you're watching on YouTube, she was walking. It was one of those like you go to the bathroom and then you go like to women's and men's. So they were walking to the bathroom basically together. And John, as you described it, you said it's when you're flashing your lights behind someone, like get out of the way in the left lane. Like left lane's for passing. Get the fuck out of the way. And so he starts to move faster. And I watch this old Asian woman look over her shoulder and kind of see John and kind of be like, wait, what's that? And then John.
Bro, I was like growling at him.
and then I see John, like his head goes up, like, kind of like keeping it in. And this old lady does one of these, like high stepping her way away from the puke. It was like Godzilla fucking takes over Japan. This little Asian woman was like, ah! And John pukes. And by the grace of God, there was a garbage can, but a small one.
like almost like the ashtray type.
Yes, because it had a whole top that only let out like it was almost like if you're putting like your soda fucking cup.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like put your cup here. So it was a tiny one. And if John had thrown up a little bit harder, or if he was one step closer, he would have completely thrown up down the back of an old Asian woman. Like it would have hit her like this and gone down her back. And instead, it landed 90% of it went in that hole.
Yeah.
A little bit splashed around the rim, but you projectiled into a hole. It was like a golf shot. I was like, wow, that was impressive. And then you got yourself like to the regular bathroom, like to puke the rest of it out. I thought you got away with it. I really did. I come back out and I start to just have a conversation about the casino. And Bert and Peter goes to me like, so how is he? And I was like, well, no, what do you mean? I don't know. He's fine. I wasn't going to narc on the guy. Bert was pretty silent the whole time. When we were leaving the casino, walking to the next spot, he goes, so just to be clear, somebody threw up in the casino, right?
I just want to make sure I saw what I saw. If someone did throw up in the casino, correct?
Yeah. Dude.
It was like unspoken. I mean, who cares, first of all? But I wasn't going to blow up your spot if you wanted to like keep it on the low. So I was just like, I think he's just, I think a lot of food or whatever. And they were like, no, he's throwing up on Asian women.
Dude, it was actually like a taste unlike I've ever had in my life.
That's what he was saying too.
That's
the mouth. It was
I was explaining
the
that.
effect on your mouth. Apparently, was what
It was
the
like,
mushrooms
yeah,
were
like
crazy.
it was like, you get the mouth sweats, but it was like I was sweating
Sour.
Sour Patch Kids
Yeah.
into my own mouth, and it was just not.
I've never felt
Sitting,
I've
though.
never
Yeah.
felt that before. My tongue, like, it literally went numb, felt like it felt like it was sweating.
Yeah.
Like
Ugh.
literally.
I was gonna say
And-
when you guys kept saying that, I was like, it's saliva, guys.
No,
but
no,
like
yeah.
you guys were like, it's like your tongue.
It was
is
like
sweating.
generating. It felt like it was
Ugh.
generating from your tongue, and then it got sour, and it was like, what the fuck is going on? And everyone was like, yeah, the sides of your tongue.
I'm surprised you didn't
super
puke
fucked
too,
up.
but
Oh, I almost did. I actually when we were leaving the pancake shop because we had pancakes, mushrooms, I had coffee, a beer, water. Just that was all stop for. And then when we were leaving, just going from the hot air to the cold air, like shocked
you
me
up,
a little
yeah.
bit. And then I asked you for a cigarette, and I just had a pull of yours, thinking that would fix it all.
oh yeah, let's add some fucking tobacco and nicotine and shit.
And
yeah.
the second I did that, I was
Smoke
like,
inhalation.
I just got quiet. I was like, let me just put up a GoPro real quick and like film everyone. And I just caught my breath.
I will say, I don't think I've ever seen a greater puke and rally though, in regards to attitude. Well, there is another story of a party rallier, which is one of my favorite stories. We'll get to him later, but the attitude switch, and I don't know if it was because you felt like you needed to be like, everyone knows I puked, I'm good, I'm ready to go, guys, or if you just felt that much better or whatever. But once it subsided, you had a smile on your face and you were like, I am good to go. Another round, another joint, let's go. And I don't know if that was, like mind over matter, pushing yourself through it, or if it just was that much of a relief, but you were
It was
like
probably a little
a
bit of both.
new man. Yeah. Because, I know the feeling when, it's like, oh, this guy already puked. And it's like, I'm going to make sure I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, watch this. I'm good. I'm ready to rock. So the rally was very impressive, but goddamn, do I wish you puked on an Asian woman. Bert said he saw it. I was like, oh, we're getting kicked out. Somehow nobody caught it again because it was a incredibly depressing scene.
They barely even had lights at that casino.
It was.
They didn't have
and it was
music.
like brown. Yeah, there was no music. So you just heard like
Downstairs was
clinking
quiet.
of chips and
Yeah.
and the ball.
Freaky.
Bert was funny though. He was like, we were losing at roulette over and over and over again, and he was like, sucks. And he had earlier said that he doesn't feel the rush of gambling a lot, and he was like, this is the worst part. I don't feel anything. Like I'm up a little bit, down a little bit. I just don't feel. I don't get any sort of feeling. As he says that, the ball hits red or whatever it was, and he won, and he goes, I feel it. I feel it. I was lying, guys. I feel it.
I have the audio recorded. I had it going in my pocket since I could have whipped out a phone there. So I'll put that in right here.
feel nothing right now. It's just I feel nothing. Like
So let me say this. I got to give credit to Bert, but we went to places like casinos and then later the red light district where they don't allow phones, and they really don't allow phones. You take them out, like you're in trouble. And Bert, I think, invented this idea. I don't know anyone else who did it. I encourage everybody to do it, whether or not you're even in places that allow phones or not. Voice record your party. Voice record your night. Just turn it on, go to your notes app or your voice notes app, press record, throw it in your pocket. It's surprisingly, you can hear it.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's not great audio, but you can hear what people are saying. and then you have all your shit. Now you got to be careful about it. There was many times where I was like, remember the Bert's recording, remember the Bert's recording. Don't say this, don't say that. But by the end, I just didn't fucking care, and I wasn't even thinking about it anymore, and we were letting it rip. And we had several moments of like, oh, you got that on audio? That's fucking amazing. I challenge or put it to you guys. I think if I was in college and shit, I would do this all the time.
See, I would not.
Oh, I think it's so
I don't
fun
like-
to have
yeah.
the fucking like the moment we had at the end of the night where we have that audio. I put it on Instagram. People were loving it to have because we can recap it, but they have like the audio in the moment of our reaction. I think it's incredible. It can get you in a lot of fucking trouble too. Got to know what to delete immediately, but yeah, don't want to be recorded at all times. But
All right now over the Barstool Sportsbook, we've got Barstool exclusive, including picks and parlays from Big Cat, El Prez, and all the other personalities, which you can follow or you can fade. Me personally, I know what I would do, but that's not to say that you guys would do the opposite. Who knows? But they've got tons of ways to bet on the app, including daily odds boosts, live in-game bets, and move the line plus teasers. They got parlay plus bets within the same games or across sports, so you can make some of the most creative parlays out there with odds boosts. They're the best because we are the guys behind them coming up with these different bets, these different parlays and props, all along with the best lines from Penn. It is the best way to put your bets in. Plus, it's easy to navigate and use. They have data and content to keep you informed. It's easy and secure registration, and there's more ways to deposit and withdraw. So download today and create an account. $1,000 new player bonuses. If your first bet loses, you get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
so I mean that was the kind of the calm before the storm, really, because after that it was like we all agreed.
Yeah, then we went to the last cafe we went to when we were rallying.
Yeah, that was like the last calm before the storm. More of the same.
Where
Just
we took that photo, like in front of that beautiful building.
yeah,
Like,
we
I don't
had a
even
lot
know
of great
what that
shots. We were in
was.
front of like this palace. It was kind of the calm before the storm. Everybody agreed we're gonna keep the party going, but not go too hard. And we're gonna go. Then we're gonna go home. And we had a big dinner planned, and we bailed.
Yeah.
And I've been preaching that game for a long time now. If you're on a bachelor party, if you're on a guys' weekend, girls' weekend, you're partying with your college friends, you're day drinking. The big dinner sucks. It's a tranquilizer dart to the neck. It ruins the vibe. It ruins the wave. Don't do it. Just keep partying. We bail on the dinner. We all agreed. You go home and you get a 3-minute shower because the showers, at least mine, it had the rainfall
Yeah.
one, and a handgun fucking thing. And I was cold. It was cold in Amsterdam. I did not have a warm enough jacket. And I was like, if I go in there and I take a nice warm shower for a long time, it is curtains for your boy. So everyone agreed. 3 minutes on the clock, jacked up 3 minutes, and then the red light district began. We were lucky enough that Bert and his gang had already been there for a night. So they kind of scouted for us, which is cool too, because if you're only going to be there for 2 nights, if you go to the wrong thing or something you don't like for one night, you've kind of ruined it, They went to a live sex show the night before, and they said it was not great. I thought
live sex shows sound like they're fun, and I've never been to one, so I can't really speak to it. But like, I would guess that I'm pretty quickly like, oh, I'm just watching 2 people fuck.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
They said like it's not like there was music and it was not like people are interacting and like the crowd's not reacting. So it was just like, oh, okay, those people are fucking. And I could see where that gets a little weird because that turns into.
I'm guessing they're not the hottest people.
I'm guessing they're not the hottest, and that is like when I watch something like that, I'm trying to come.
Yeah.
That sounds like watching porn but live.
Yeah.
And now I've got to be at a table with 80 you dudes and I can't fucking do anything about it. No, thank you. The rest of it, you go to strip clubs, you get other shows. It's fun. It's not about like coming. If I'm just watching 2 people fuck, I'm getting boned up. Okay, bro? So they said, no, we're not doing that. We're going to the banana room. Now, the banana bar, excuse me. Bananen is how they say it. The bananen bar. I had been told, or somebody told you, I think, or you just concocted this in your head, and then told me that the banana bar, they do banana tricks with their pussy.
Mm-hmm. You know what it is? I remember Chaps' story from Korea.
Yeah.
And Chaps had like, someone was like cutting the banana with her pussy.
Okay, because so you described it as like almost a conveyor belt, like the banana's moving like along her pussy, and she's squeezing it, and it's chopping off slices. And so that's what I was waiting for. It's not that, but it's not far off either. So we get Bert, and Bert rolls in. When you go to a place like the Banana Bar, and they go, "Oh, you are back," that's a little crazy. For most people, that is a once in a lifetime trip. Not a 2 times in 2 nights trip. So he walks in and we got the VIP. I think it was like $40 for everybody. You get 4 drinks and a fucking section.
I want to say it was $400.
Yeah, it was like $400 for like the whole crew. And it's got to be the most ridiculous return on investment of all time. You sit at like a horseshoe shaped bar, tiny one. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us, right? Plus a guest appearance.
I think 7.
Later.
7 and then
was it? I think it was just Shane, Manzi, Bert, and us 3.
And then Peter. Peter was fighting off that drunk dude trying to take a photo.
Yeah, okay. So Pete was off to the side. Unfortunately, it was this guy at the guy. Dude, there's a time and a place for like pictures and saying what's up and shit. This guy wanted to tell Bert a story at the Banana Bar, man. Like, just not the time and place. Felt bad. He was a big fan. Bert was like, I just can't right now.
Peter was going up. He said he talked to the madam and was like, "Can you get this guy out of there?" She's like, "Well, stop talking to him." And he's like, "What do you mean?"
So we sit down and you get a 3-act performance with 3 different girls or sets of girls. And they were eager and aggressive, right?
Oh, I was going to say it's actually 7.
7 girls?
7 set. There were 7 things.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm combining a couple of things.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said 7.
There was 3. It was the first girl who did a couple things. The second girl
who was grotesque.
She was horrendous. And I hate to be mean, but like, you think when you go to these things that they're going to be sexy. And then you realize, again, weekday girls. We're talking about a Wednesday night weekday girl who needs money to the tune of, I'm going to be a sex worker in Amsterdam. It's not, the hot girls are like on Instagram posting like a bikini picture for fucking $100,000 a pop. Not what can I do with a banana, with my pussy to a banana, But this girl was Buzz, your girlfriend, woof. And part of it was she gets out some lotion and she says, "Rub my tits." I find it to be the most awkward thing of all time.
I mean,
is just sitting there rubbing a girl's tits while all the other guys are sitting there. And John,
turns out I don't know how to rub tits.
John doesn't know how to rub tits. and sometimes people wonder, are we hamming it up for the podcast? Are we lying? Are these stories true? When we're like, I don't know what to do with a chick. I don't know how to do this. Well, John got yelled at by a fucking Amsterdam stripper because he doesn't know how to rub titties.
I have said long,
it's true.
I don't know what to do with boobs.
And we know why.
That's a professional worker said, "You don't know what you're doing."
If nipples could come, then we would get good at it, but we don't know what we're doing. So I am with John on this one, though. John went like kind of under the tits.
She had a big sloppy set.
She had a big sloppy set. It were big and wide and flat while also and there was scars all over the place. There was a fupa. It was
the fupa was crazy.
And the C-section scar. It was not great. But John went like under the boobs and kind of up. As a big titted bitch, would that bother the under boob? Is that off limits? Because she was honestly, it was like
she was
smack on the hand, like no, baby, you don't do that. She said, I couldn't believe this poll for a fucking stripper in 2023 in Amsterdam. She said, "Have you ever seen the Karate Kid? Wax on, wax off." So she just wanted like palms going in circles. Which
I was like, by the way, I don't even want to be doing this.
I know, yeah. Like we can just pass.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like if you don't like this, I don't want to do this. No thanks.
I needed a shot clock. I just needed a shot
Yeah,
clock.
yeah,
Because
because, like, am I gonna do it forever?
When am I done here? Like, I just
Right.
want to pass this along.
Right. I think it's weirder to just like palm your nipples and go like that. But when he went under the tit and she was like, "No, baby, you go on top," I was dying.
I wanted to die. I was like, get me the fuck. I can't even rub tit, dude.
But then the reverse, and we learned this about every single girl there. When they turn around and flash their ass, every single one of them has a butt plug in their asshole
It's
permanently.
crazy.
Just walking around, doing their business, plugged up. Plug walk, bro. Plug walk. To the bar, to the bathroom, to this guy, to that guy. Just walking around with one of those bejeweled, bedazzled plugs in your asshole. Like it's permanent. I think they're permanently in there, man.
It was like after like the fifth one, I was like, why does everyone have?
Everyone's got their plug in.
trying to see fucking butthole here, dude.
You're covering up the main thing. It was funny though when she then turned around and you can grab her ass. John, she goes, "Oh, you're an ass man." So if you ever were interested, John can grab a butt. He can't rub titties.
Can't rub tit, dude.
One of the best moments of that though was when it got to the end and the same guy. She was like, "All right, you're done rubbing my tits," and flipped over and he goes, "Oh, it's like a snake trap."
A snake trap. Shane called it a snake trap. I was almost dying. You get a 2 for 1. Whatever. That shit to me is weird. I don't find that cool. I think you have to be a truly desperate, like, don't get any sort of attention sexually, virgin type of guy to be like, I can't wait to rub some tits in front of my buddies. Like it's not going any further.
Bro, I was
It's
so
not-
mad she made me do lotion. I was like, this is disgusting.
disgusting. She handed that fucking rag to
Dude,
you,
that rag-
and you wiped it off. I was like, that rag has your titty lotion for like, I don't even know what's
Dude,
on that rag.
That was the wettest rag I've ever held in my life.
Well, that's because I got it first and it was dry, and I'm like, I'm getting my fucking hands dry on this thing. And then I thought she was going to give all of you one, and she just goes,
The
"All right,
same
pass it."
one.
I'm like,
Yeah. I got more lotion trying to wipe my hands off than I did from the fucking bottle of lotion.
But so whatever. That shit to me is like whatever. Then they say, well, somebody is getting spanked. And if you've ever gone to a strip club in Montreal or
Wait, was that pre or post banana?
No, hold on.
the bananas
hold on,
first. That's
hold
right,
on.
right. Yeah, we're skipping.
Postcard.
Yeah. Okay. We're
Postcard
skipping.
was
We're
number
skipping.
2.
That's right. Number 2 is a girl.
It's on the sheet.
Did you guys all rub, or is it just John?
No, everyone.
yeah, it's like
everyone.
you rub-
Everyone
you rub.
else could rub tits.
So
I can't.
The next one, she says, "Do you want the postcard?" Apparently, postcards in Amsterdam are a big deal. And she says, "Give me somebody's name." And they did it last night. They said they did Dane Cook. I said, "We're in Amsterdam. We're doing some horny shit. We got to go Glenny Balls." This chick
This was crazy.
puts a marker.
I mean, the fact she just walked up with a postcard and a brick, I didn't know what the fuck.
She
was
had a
about to happen.
brick, dude. She puts the brick down. She puts the postcard on top of it. She puts a marker in her pussy. She goes down on like one knee almost.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like squats down, one knee up. And you can see the look in her eye. She's like doing one of these, like licking her lips. Kind of, if you've ever worked on a math problem and you're like kind of grimacing and thinking. And she is starting to move around like one of those 3D printers. Up, down, left, right. And her tongue is out and she's like thinking. And I'm like, oh, wow. Like this chick is writing Glenny with her pussy. When she's finally done, she's like spins it over to us. It was like a full fucking letter to Glenny Balls. It was like,
And I'll say what? Better handwriting than I have.
beautiful,
Yeah, like really nice.
calligraphy writing with hearts and like pictures that said like "with love from Amsterdam." Like I don't even remember. I think Bert actually still has the postcard, but like a couple sentences like "to Glenny, love pussy from pussy" with a fucking heart and all these like little frills. I was like, are you absolutely fucking kidding me? And she kind of guided it with her like one finger, but otherwise, just drawn with her pussy.
It was one of the most impressive things I've ever
Just drawn with her pussy. That I find way better than rubbing tits.
That's what I've always said. I want to be like entertainment rather than like get my fucking rocks off.
Right.
That was entertaining.
So then the next one up is the lesbian sex show. 2 chicks who like make out a little bit, got a little bit hotter.
Yeah.
A little bit better. And then out comes the banana. Throws a condom on the banana, like a true hooker does with her mouth, you know, and puts it inside. And then they peel it. And everybody's got to eat the banana. And I'm sitting here going, I don't like banana. My biggest problem is not what's holding the banana. My problem is the banana itself. I took the littlest nibble that has ever been nibbled at the banana bar. It's like you're
I fucking deep throated.
Yeah, you went in on it. You're
Took a chunk
you
off.
got some you got like banana
Bro,
bread
I was
out of that
hungry.
shit.
I'd thrown up earlier. I didn't have any food in my
I had an
stomach.
empty belly, man. I needed to take it. So I mean that's like the main that's what they call it the banana bar, and I think that's like the main show. But I found the finale to be way more impressive. Yeah. We now do the spanking. She says one of you is getting spanked. Bert was the victim the first night, or the lucky winner, however you view it.
I'll say victim.
So for us, it was gonna be one of us two. I knew that, and I have been saying to everybody, John has taken a lot of bullets for me at Barstool over the years. He did a Spartan race for me that one time. We were at the Halloween party. I remember being like, "Yeah, I got to take photos." It was like, things that I didn't want to do that John had to bite the bullet to do. I've never been happier that he bit this bullet for me. And I don't even know if he views it as biting a bullet. It would have been biting a bullet for me. I would not have liked this. John, I don't know. I still don't know if you even know where you fall on this. But the treatment that John got was the funniest fucking thing. He got abused. Physically,
you could make the argument I got raped.
You got raped.
Yeah.
You absolutely got raped.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
This girl.
Yeah, it's like number 10.
Dude, she threw you on your stomach and took your belt off. Pabs, when I say she went over her head like this, like it wasn't like a pow. She went 1, 2. I mean, just absolutely beating my man's ass. Bare ass.
Yeah.
John kept going, ah!
Bro, it was the kind
laughing,
of
but yelling and also,
it was the kind of whipping you don't really see outside of slave movies.
It was straight Kunta Kinte roots. It was before she flipped you over. She had you on your back and she just went full Jackie slap. Pow! Right to the face. Boxed his ears. I could see him go like, John was legit like grunting like, oh, you got me. Bam, another one. But then she fucking whacks his ass so hard. Like a champ, though, John. She was like, 1, 2, and she's laughing. And he goes, give me another. So she gives him 3. And I'm thinking that's it. Because like I said, I've seen and heard of a lot of like spanking things like that before. And then she takes out the stiletto.
What do you guys think happened with that?
This girl put a stiletto right up John Henry Feidelberg's ass. She put it right in between his cheeks, and she gave it a wiggle, and then she flipped him over, put it in his mouth. Shut up.
Dude, it was.
Did it go up the hole?
Yeah.
So he gets off the table. We're dying. Bert Kreischer told me, he was like, it was the greatest moment of my life watching this happen. We're howling. John gets off the table and turns to me and Nick. And we figured out what he meant to be saying. But the first thing he says to me, he goes, did she put that up my ass? And me and Nick go, I don't know. You tell me, man. I think that's something that you know, not us. What he meant was he thought that it was, I put this one in your ass and then this one over here in your mouth. Oh, no. No. It was straight ATM for your boy. But he was like, it was the same one? It was the same one? I can't think of anything. I mean, I think I'm trying to remember. I don't think she took off the shoe she was wearing.
No, she did. I saw it was right foot.
God damn it.
I was hoping that it was like a prop, like, and here's the clean.
I gotta go get it.
You had a high heel that had walked the streets of Amsterdam and the ground of a sex club up your ass and in your mouth.
Yeah. I should go to the hospital. I should.
Maybe that's what you're feeling.
I should
Maybe you got wet brain.
Well, dude, that's what I'm. Now that we're spelling it out.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm sick because of the germs I got. I don't think I'm hungover. I think I got a lot of germs in my mouth, and I'm fucking sick now. I mean, that was. I'll say it. She crossed the line.
She crossed the line. There was no permission.
There was no permission, no
consent.
warning, no nothing. It was just like because I'll say that I did give permission to the spanking. I knew what I was getting into there. I consented to the spanking.
And you even when you were on your back, on your stomach, and she started to like grab the high heel, you kind of arched up and were a little bit like, wait, what's going on? Like I don't know what's happening next. I saw the belt. I know what that is. What's happening next? And she kind of just like put your fucking head down.
Dude, she manhandled you.
Yeah. You got bodied, dude.
She kicked the shit out of me.
You got raped.
Yeah.
Like again, if you switch the scenario, if it was a girl, I'd be like, no, and this guy's just like, bam. We'd all be in jail.
Right.
Instead, we're just like, so yeah, you took the beating, man, the beating of a lifetime.
I was so confused where I was like, was that in my was that really the same shoe? He was like, yeah, dude. I was like, what the fuck, bro?
Oh my god. So, there was one last trick that they needed to do. And, no, two actually. They wanted you to hold a vibrator in your mouth while they, like, squatted on top of it. And I'll tell you something. It's not easy to hold a vibrator with your mouth.
No.
I was like, I'm gonna pop a veneer if I do this. Like, you gotta, like, hold it in while someone's like banging on it. I was like, this seems like someone's gonna like split a lip or something like that. And then they every time they do one of these things to somebody, they also at the last second just
fast.
pop your fat ass on it. Like Nick was laying back and this stripper's ass just went just like if you've ever watched the WWF, Rikishi just got
That's
like
exactly
just
what I
doing
thought
faces
of.
like face in between jeans. And Nick popped up like hair disheveled like this and he was just like what? But I think all of that pales in comparison to the final act was this chick was like, which one of you's did you try to catch it or no?
I don't believe so, no.
So somebody tried to catch
It's
it drop.
Bert first, I believe.
No, who dropped? Was it Bert dropped it?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. This chick, bro, she threw her legs over her head so fucking far. And then I think I have to describe it as she punted that vibrator. It went as far as a fucking NFL punt had. She went like blast to like get the pressure up and then just
which I didn't know. Like I didn't know how that happened.
She's got powerful
Spring up there.
Yeah, it was like there was a spring inside her, and this thing just comes shooting out, and you have to try to catch it. And I guess it was Bert. I can't remember who dropped it, but it was like fumble, and everyone's like boo, boo. And then out of nowhere, we get a celebrity drop in. That was so crazy. It was like an episode of Entourage. It was like an episode of Entourage. It was really entertaining, almost like if you were watching an Islanders game. An episode of Entourage. And that celebrity appearance was like, I got this. And he like gets down low and he's like, let's go. And blast off. And he was just like, and he catches it. Crowd goes wild. And then he inexplicably takes it and just shoves it down his own shirt. And he instantly was like, oh, why did I do that? It was all gross and lubed up and everything. But he went from like, hello, how you doing? I'm in town. I knew you guys were here. I'm following the trip. wanted to say hello, had one beer, was on his way out to catching flying dildos.
Yeah.
And I think he stayed out with us the rest of the night and had a flight at like 9 a.m. the next day. I've never seen more like peer pressure. It was like, or less, like he was like, all right, I gotta go. And we're like, no, you don't. He's like, okay, I'll stay. But from, I just got off the set. I gotta say hi to the boys real quick to like catching flying paraphernalia. That was a moment, man. And I guess we got that all recorded, right? Like audio recording, right?
So I don't have the audio of that one. That Bert does. I have the audio of upstairs.
Okay, we might have to link up and put together a documentary of this all together.
Oh, yeah. I think you'll be able to hear it. So my phone was in my coat, and it was in the coat room because I was very afraid of the hookers beating me up. So because I heard someone was taking a photo of Bert towards the canal, not even towards any of the like actual like prostitutes. And a prostitute beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, I mean, they were not.
I missed that.
They were also just very. They were very mean. They were very the regular strippers. Then, like, if you just want like a lap dance sort of strippers, they fucking descend upon you and like they're like, you go here, you go there, you've got him, I got him. It's like a defense. They were like, it was man to man defense in a strip club. And then they all ask you at once, like, you're giving me a dance, right? You're going to pay for a dance, right? And when you do the usual, like, come back a little later. I'm just getting settled in. They're like, no, you want to do it now? And I was like, no, I really don't. I really fucking don't. I loved at one point, Bert was trying to play like a game. And he goes to her, I want you to pick whoever you want for a lap dance. And I'll be the one to pay for it. And he has like a wad of cash in his hand. And so she goes, you. Just picks the guy with a wad of fucking cash in his hand. And he was like, I guess I didn't think that one through.
I definitely have audio of me just trying to swim move a stripper. Is she's just like, she's like, okay, you want to go in the back room? And they're like, go ahead. And like, the celebrity guest is like, I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just want a beer right now. And I'm like, yeah,
he swooped in and saved me. We all put our jackets in the coat check. And God bless Bert's buddy and assistant Pete. He was so like gracious, trying to be like the tour guide. He was like, "I'll take care of your coats. Give me the tickets. I'll get them all." Like, and I was just like, "I can handle my own coat. I don't need this." But he wanted to take care of the jackets. And then as he was getting everybody's jackets to leave, I guess mine just he didn't get it. So I have no jacket, and it's cold as fuck. And the other guy on the tour with us, Shane, he didn't have a jacket either. He lost his jacket too. I thought they were going to like beat the shit out of me trying to find this jacket. Because they were like, are you accusing us? And I was like, I mean, I guess so. It's like, it's your fucking fault when I lost my jacket. And I was like, can I just look through them? And they were like, no. And then our celebrity guest came through. He thought it was like a true crime episode. He was like, I'm going to find these fucking jackets. And he like looks through and he sees my jacket was underneath and then they put another jacket on top. And he sees through like a little slit the Barstool logo. And he was like, that's the jacket right there. And the girl, though, she goes to me, she was like, I said, can I just like look through these jackets? And she was like, if you take someone's jacket, she said, if I lose one of the jackets, then it comes out of my pay for the person who lost their jacket. And I was like, I'm a person who lost my jacket. We're already here.
And someone owes me a check then.
So I pull out 20 euro. And I'm like, just let me look through the jacket, Like, give me that jacket right there. Here's $20. And our celebrity appearance, Kevin Connolly, he like swipes my hand and he's like, no, dude. And I thought he was like big timing me, being like, dude, you got to give him like 100 or whatever. He pulled it back and gave him 5. He goes, you have to give her $20 for that. Fuck that. But found our jackets and he was like, it was like a true crime episode. I solved the case. But they were like mean. They were like, next time you don't accuse us. Like you need to talk to us. I was like, I was trying. I don't know. Like the last thing I want is to have some fucking Amsterdam madam. Like you're ready to slit my throat.
We couldn't have been more polite to them. And they're like, you're doing what now?
Yeah. Like, I was like, they're going to kill me and throw me in the fucking canal right now.
Canals need railings. I almost fell in.
Nick almost fell in the canal, which would have been amazing. They just have these canals that there's no railing. There's no bar. It's just like the sidewalk, the street, a little bit more sidewalk, and canal. And Nick like thought there was one and went to lean.
Because outside of the hotel there was, But
Yeah.
so I started walking up. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I would have given anything if Nick Hamilton ended up in a canal. But my favorite moment of the whole thing, so that was like the big, red light district night. We take a group picture outside, and one of the guys on the trip with us, Mark, earlier in the day took a whole case of mushrooms, and I watched him. He put his hood on. He had a beanie on. He pulled it down tight. He put his hood on. He put his glasses on. He pulled his like turtleneck kind of up to his nose, and then said, "I'm gonna go inside myself now." And boy, did he!
Yeah.
And he went from like we were both kind of like we were just like bouncing to the music at this bar, like hey oh, and then all of a sudden he was going, "I'm so hot," and I was like, "Yeah, you're bundled up like you're out fucking like ice fishing, dude." And he needed to go home. Peter, who was like our tour guide, like I've been saying, he was like, "I got to take Mark home." And so we were like, we lost him. We lost a good soldier out there on the battlefield. And we're taking this picture at like 2 a.m. to end the night. And all of a sudden I see like this head pop up in the back of the picture. And I turn and it's him. And it was like one of the purest partying moments ever. We were like, he's back from the dead. No way. No! Come back from the dead! I think the puking rally or the napping rally or the I got, I had to like leave because of my girlfriend and return, whatever, I think is the best party trick there is.
Dude,
when you come back to the party, when everyone thought you were either a pussy or too drunk or arrested or whatever, and you're like Jesus rising from the dead. I mean, the reaction he got was probably better than like any comedy club could give him. We were like, "Oh my god!"
The greatest
that was
moment
when we
of
had
my
it all
life
on camera.
was when I thought I died. I was in Montreal, and we were at some club, like some like ocean club or beach club, whatever. Like it's like probably like 45 minutes outside of Montreal, and I was so fucked up, and I was like, I don't even know what my thought process was. I don't know why I did what I did, but I just like walked into the woods.
Oh, right. You just laid in the field or
and
something,
I just like,
right?
passed out in the woods, and everyone left the ocean club, and I had to like I just like followed the noise to cars, and then like basically I don't know how I did it. I somehow hailed a cab. Halfway home, I'm like, by the way, I don't have any money, and he's like, well, then you have to get out. Like I didn't have like a credit card. Like I lost my wallet.
You gotta say that at the end, bro.
I know. So I pull over. He drops over at a gas station. I call another cab. I'm like, look, I will get you money, but like just bring me till dropping me off does nothing because now you've wasted half a trip. And I get home. I get back to the house we were on bachelor party, and it was like a king's welcome.
Yes.
Like, it was. Everyone's like, he's alive.
He's alive.
They thought I was legit
because
dead.
people are like worried.
Yeah.
People don't know where you are. I mean, this was more just like we thought. We lost him, but when you only have 2 nights and someone misses one. And he like just the way he snuck in, we were like, oh my god, I can't even like that. That is like the only time you feel like truly loved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh my god. And then the last little bit of the night, we needed a nightcap, and we went to just like a very regular bar. But the funniest thing for me was like, I mean, at this point, I'm gassed. I've probably partied, at that point, we've done from 10 a.m. to 12:30 at that time, so we're like over 12 hours. That's like more hours combined than I've done in like the last several months, and I'm there at the finish line, but I'm also like I'm done, and I've always been that way. Like if I'm at the end of the night, and if you're not fucking someone and you're not like there's nothing else to like do, like you've already done all the bars, done all the things, it's like I'm going home. I'm either eating food or going to sleep. There's just no need to continue doing this. We've already had all of our laughs, we've already had all of our things, but
see, that's what I don't have.
You don't have this, the stop switch,
because it's just like I'm like, well, something else might happen.
True. But I also once like I guess you're right, celebrity appearances and people rising from the dead and shit. But by the end of the night, we had done everything, we're just there putting more, like, we're just adding to the hangover in the morning, But I'm like, I've got a full fucking pint in front of me, And every time I tried to Irish goodbye, Bert Kreischer would catch me. And it wasn't like I just kept trying to leave and he was just sitting in front of me going. And every time he saw me, he just went, nope, nope, nope. We are drinking all of the beer in Amsterdam tonight. And I was like, all right, fine. Take a few more sips. Now I'm like halfway done. I'm like, all right, that's enough. Like put up a valiant effort. Nope, nope. And at this point, I'm like a 40-year-old man being bullied but like
it is crazy how easily you get peer pressured.
Oh,
like
I was like, okay.
When I started smoking weed at like 10 a.m., I never smoke weed. I smoke weed only when I'm in bed,
right?
Because I
I'm
fall
going
asleep
to sleep
right away so quickly. And I was like, as soon as the joint started coming out, I was like, fuck, I guess I'm gonna smoke weed right now. And I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know. Like I had no idea what the future held, but I was like, I guess I'll do it because other people are doing it.
I was like, I don't want to do any of this, but there's only really one person. Like Bert, he invited me. He wanted me to stay. I'm fucking staying, But at one point, he did say to me, because I must have had a face. Like on the third time, he said to me, "If you want to go, you can go. If you want to gallop, we can gallop." And I was like, is there a third choice? Because I don't really want to gallop. I don't have to go, but I don't think I can gallop right now. But I loved that line.
Yeah.
You want to go? You can go. You want to gallop? We can gallop. Because I think he ended up going home and like rolling blunts and like smoking with Maddy and continuing to drink. I was like, when we leave this bar, I'm going home for the night. I don't know about you. I showered that night before bed.
Oh, I did not.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was
I washed my face.
The best shower ever had. It was absolutely fucking divine to get all of that layer of film off of me. But you've never, let me just tell you this much. You've never felt peer pressure to stay at a bar until Bert Kreischer's done it to you. Like, think about all your friends. Think about the coolest guy the biggest partier trying to make you stay at a bar. When Bert Kreischer tells you, no, we're staying at a bar for another beer, you can't say no to that. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. But we had a moment at the very, very end of the night. It's a weird bar. There was like house music playing and all sorts of shit. And then all of a sudden, it was 2 Bob Marley tracks came on back to back. It was like One Love and I don't know, Everything's Gonna Be All Right. And it was like weed in the air, drinks all around, everybody just kind of swaying and singing. And I was like, this was fucking awesome. Like, I couldn't believe the amount of people who were like, are you going to go? When he first announced
I know,
it.
that was crazy.
Like, yeah, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I know I don't go out much, and I know people are like, oh, Amsterdam didn't seem like your speed or whatever, but I was like, he could have said anywhere. I'm going.
Yeah, people
at the very
that.
least just for the content, let alone for the experience. But it was, and then the next night we went to their show, incredible. They all crushed, sold out.
The car
sold out theater. We took a boat down the canals. What's that?
That
car?
was so sick.
The
That was
boat
like
ride.
No,
that-
the car was the name of the theater. The CARRE.
John was so in love with Amsterdam.
I mean,
I can't tell you how many times he goes, this is just so beautiful.
It is.
It's just
dude,
so
it's
beautiful.
Crazy beautiful.
He kept going, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just crazy that this exists. It's crazy. These people, they just live here. It's crazy.
So I want to ask you. I know you don't like traveling and things like that. Like, you don't go to a city like that and be like, I got to see more cities.
Absolutely. No. I do. It just fades quickly. Like, in that moment, if I had no other life at home and you were like, let's just go from here to the next one, I probably could have been persuaded,
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier in the day when we went to Anne Frank's place. But yeah, that was my first time out of the country, and like before that, I never really had that urge because I never done it. And just walking around, like even just seeing the architecture there, I'm like,
it's a very
I
cool
get it.
city. Like, you go to the right is the red light district. Like, you get to a street. Right here's the red light district. Right over here is like beautiful architecture and these nice little like cafes and stuff. So it is a very cool city. It's old, like 1600s old. So everything looks like totally different. It's definitely cool. And it just fades quickly. Like, I get back home and I'm just like, all right, I'm tired now. So here's my thing. You've got wet brain. I think you're fully retarded now. I think I have early onset dementia and Alzheimer's, and I don't know if if I've always had it or if this triggered it. When we were watching Fast Five, I could not remember Paul Walker's name.
Really?
That's a big big celebrity. I was like, Brian O'Connor is played by, and I couldn't think of it. I had to Google it.
You were just sitting there.
I was just
that?
thinking, and when it popped up, I was like, oh, it wasn't like a oh, of course. I was just kind of I was like, I would have never got there. I was, when you're like, oh, if I thought another second, I would have landed it. I was never going to get to Paul Walker. And then I couldn't remember who Martin Short was.
Why?
I don't know why he popped. I think Only Murders in the Building. I was looking at something. This was like yesterday, like after the trip. I was looking at him and I was like, Dana Carvey? No. And I couldn't get it. And I usually like when I do the dozen, like the celebrity mashups, and she's like, I know these people. I'm good at that. And then yesterday, I couldn't remember where the Chiefs played.
Well, it's the kind of tricky one.
No, it's not. I know what you mean, but I couldn't remember Kansas City.
Oh,
I
see.
couldn't remember
But it's
the
in
Kansas
Missouri.
City Chiefs. But it wasn't one of those like what state do they play in? It was like where the Chiefs are from, and I was just like, I don't know. And I was like, I know Arrowhead because they've been saying that, but I was like, and so now I'm like, I can't remember like major things. That's kind of scary.
That is a little bizarre.
That I think I legit.
But
have
honestly,
Alzheimer's.
those three, I don't think those three are that crazy. Now that I think about it,
Paul Walker's a big one.
Paul Walker's a pretty big one. Dana Carvey or Martin Short he's been out of the game. Not out of the game, like he's kind of just resurging.
Yeah.
But like I don't know what Martin Short did.
Not knowing Kansas City. Like if you said to me like, where do the Orioles play, and I couldn't come up with Baltimore, that's bad.
Yeah, that's true.
I was like, I legit started Googling like.
Were you looking at the initials, just like guessing things?
I just wasn't even looking at it. It was just Chiefs, and I just like couldn't think of it. I think this weekend just like shot my brain. This weekend, by the way, somehow I am in a bigger doghouse than I've ever been in for this trip when I'm already divorced. I mean, when the first time I went to the Super Bowl, I met the Vrabels, and I got in so much trouble for going to that Super Bowl because I could just, every time I traveled, it was always a fight. And I remember being like, it was the Comedy Central one, so I was like, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
I have to go to this. And Vrabel told me he calls it the Viper Pit. When you're going back home to your wife or your girlfriend and she's mad and you're just dead man walking, going into the Viper Pit. Because I said it, I was like, oh, I'm in so much trouble. Oh, the Viper Pit. He loved it. And so I came home to a Viper Pit. I'm not even still married. This is fucking crazy.
Why? Just because you went on vacation?
I'm not allowed to do anything. It's because if you have fun without the women in your life, they get mad. That's just it. I don't know what's wrong with you girls. That's just how it goes. And I know there's plenty who don't, but all of the ones that I do, no, all the ones that I know just are like, oh, you're doing something and I don't like it. I'm going to be a pain in the ass about it. I knew it, but I was like, it's like, all right, this is going to be, I'm just going to pay for this for the next 2 days in exchange for 2 weeks, just how it goes.
It's a long time.
It's such bullshit, dude. It is such fucking bullshit. And that actually brings us all back to the Girls on a Guide trip stuff, which was very funny because Maddy ended up coming along. And at the very end of the last night, the bar that I was trying to leave an Irish goodbye and Bert wouldn't let me, Maddy accidentally knocked over a Bud Light. And jokingly, because it's been a running joke for the whole fucking week because of the whole thing with the Mean Girls and yesterday's episode, I yell, girls on a guy's trip, because she knocked over a beer. And that's when Bert Kreischer's trainer, at the end of the night, everything's been all good, partying the whole time. Although I don't think she liked me from the jump because there was a couple times I made jokes and she very literally corrected me.
Really?
At one point we were joking around about Asian names. Remember that? We were joking around about the most inappropriate Asian names possible. But we were saying Korean and Chinese. And I jokingly said, what about if you named someone Nagasaki or Hiroshima? And she was like, those are Japanese. And I was like, okay. And there was something else I can't remember, but it was like, okay, I don't think this girl likes me. And then at the end of the night, I said, girls on a guy's trip. And she went, did you just say girls on a guy's trip? Really? And I'm still laughing. I'm just like, yeah. And she goes, we've been doing this for 19 days. So how about it's you two guys showed up on our trip? And I was like, okay, how about that? How about you don't take that joke at all? So I just kind of like patted her. I was like, oh yeah, no, you guys are great. Like, thanks for having us, and just like walked away. And then the next night, she like half apologized. She said something like, yeah, I was yelling at people last night about the girls on a guys trip thing. But she said she was like, I was yelling at people, and I was standing like right next to her. I was like, no, you were yelling at me. You can't just like say that. It was me. I was like, yeah, as if it wasn't a running joke the entire fucking time. But we're gonna get Maddie in here to give us her side of things, because they did peel off at one point. The girls knew, they were like, we're not gonna do those weird, creepy, perverted shit. So we're gonna go over here. And I don't know if anything, any other weird type of shit transpired. But if you are gonna do any sort of these trips, Maddie Smith is a absolute first round draft pick to do it. She went hard, man. She went drink for drink, joint for joint, drug for drug, everything with everybody. She does not shy away from the competition.
If you're ready for the next step in your life, whether that's buying a new car or moving into a new apartment or buying a house, the first step is to have a healthy credit score. Kikoff can help you take control of your credit so your score doesn't get in the way of your goals. Kikoff is the easiest way to build credit fast. Whether you have no credit or you want to boost your score, Kikoff is the #1 credit building app that has helped over 1 million people take control of their credit. You can apply in minutes with no credit check, no hidden fees, and no interest. Plans start at just $5 a month. $5, 5 individual dollars, 5 George Washingtons, 1 Abraham Lincoln, and every on-time payment you make with Kikoff is reported to the major credit bureaus. When they see healthy habits, you get a happier credit score. You can even set it up on auto pay so that you can build credit without even thinking about it. It's time to take control of your credit so it can't control you. So what are you waiting for? Apply right now in minutes at kikoff.com to start building better credit. That's Kikoff, Kikoff, no C in there, KIKOFF.com to build your credit score without the lift. Start today at kikoff.com.
What's up, you guys?
Dude, I can't even describe perfect timing. We like just got to like you being, well, we talked about you, but it was like we wrapped up discussing all of our side of things. And then it was like, I wonder what it was like from Maddie's point of view. And like, you guys had that.
Very foggy. I'm going to be honest, but keep going.
Well, you also had that, there was the one part of the one night where the girls dipped out.
Yes.
And you guys all got dicked down by prostitutes, right?
Yeah, so we were like, we don't want to see the banana thing. We'll see you guys after. And then I ate out a prostitute. It was crazy. It was sour. But no, I was like, I think I'm too old to see a banana in a stranger's pussy. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't think that's an age thing. As a matter of fact, I would say in your brain thinking that young kids should do that.
Yeah, I'm like, when I was 13, I would have been there in a heartbeat. I actually would have been the girl, but I was more just like, you know what? Let the guys go. You guys don't want to see me. And then Bert's trainer, Lacey, said that they had gone a couple nights before, and the girl made Lacey like give a blowjob to the banana.
Oh, wow.
She was plucked for the interactive element, and I was like, I'm gonna keep.
Did she
you guys from
like
seing that if that happens?
Because
she said she didn't like it because she was in front of Bert, who's like her boss, and she's like,
I mean, I get that, but also at the same time, the term boss for Bert is very loose. I've never seen a man, and Bert's always fascinated me with this. Like he's obviously the machine, he's a party animal and loves all of it, but at the same time is always so responsible and like in control, never gonna cheat, never gonna do anything wrong. But at one point he was trying to pay somebody to go fuck a hooker. And he was like, here, I'll pay for it. Somebody go. And I've never seen a man who wanted a hooker to be fucked so bad, but also had the internal constitution to be like, but it's not going to be me.
It's not gonna
But
be me.
Like, he was like talking to the single
Yeah.
guys and being like, you can do it, I'll pay for it. And he was like, go, go, go. I think at one point, Maddie was like, all right, I'll do it.
I
Fucking
was
give me
like,
the money.
I'll do it if it makes you like me. Like, what's going on here? No one did it. We were gonna go in with like a lav mic.
Yeah, we had
Remember we were talking
plans.
about that? That was so
we had
funny.
plans to like fucking shoot a movie with them.
We were literally like, okay, so Maddie does a voice memo on her phone, and you go in and you say, Mans, who's Bert's videographer, you say, Mans is my husband, my kink is watching him getting fucked.
Yes.
And record the whole thing. And I was like, well, I got it ready here. And that could have been fun. But no, yeah, you guys split up, went to the banana. I don't know. I didn't even hear what that was like. Was it crazy?
It was a pretty solid experience.
Did any of you guys get involved? Like,
Yeah. No, John got a stiletto stuck up his ass.
so I heard you say that the next day, and I was like, maybe he was just saying something funny. You actually got a stiletto in your
That
ass?
must be code for something.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, stiletto in my ass.
Up the ass.
No,
I need that like I need a stiletto in my ass. No, it was literally a stiletto in his ass.
and then she put it in my mouth. I did not consent to any of it.
Wait,
I'll tell you what, John
the same stiletto?
John's really
Oh,
yeah, the same exact one.
Yeah, no.
John is a victim.
I consented to being spanked, and then
Right.
she took her.
You know
lot
what
of
that
liberties.
was that in front of everyone? There?
Yeah, that was like a
Oh,
whole.
wow.
Yeah, I like laid on the table.
Yeah, we were all cheering.
They took my pants down.
We were cheering for the victim.
They took my belt off, and then they just started beating.
You know
me with
what it
my belt.
really is? It's a very a good example. It's a very good example of how you can consent to sex, but then certain things go on, and you're like, I didn't consent to that.
Yeah,
like on some Trevor Bauer shit. Like I consented to the spanking.
AFC is describing womanhood right now.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I get it, girls. You can say yes to one thing, but not the others.
Yeah, you
like when
say
my
we're
boy got
making
fucked with
out.
a stiletto.
When you go to the stiletto. Yeah. Stiletto, my own pussy. You know what? It's like all different. Dude, that's crazy. Okay, so I was wondering why the vibes were so like gay the next day. I was like, something's up. You guys,
What is your vibe as a girl in that city? It's obviously very different than if you're a guy
Yeah.
and you're with a guy, like a group of guys. Like I would imagine some girls do it, but I guess there's not very many girl groups going to the banana room and shit like that.
I don't think
It's
so.
still fun, right? I mean, we smoked and drank and had a blast, but I don't know if like
It's-
is there a red light district portion for like straight chicks? I don't know.
I
Does that
don't
even
think
exist?
so.
Yeah.
I don't think
That's a business
respectfully-
idea, Maddie.
Yes.
Let's go
and-
overseas
okay.
and start the red light district. We'll call it like the pink light district.
Oh,
It's for chicks.
we're calling it Barstool's Pink Light District. Can someone get Dave on the line? What was I gonna say? No, the red light. I'm a regular girl. I'm a regular girl, so I can give a regular girl perspective. I think the red light district is a little creepy.
Yeah, big time, right?
I didn't expect the girls to look like bitches that I might know. I don't know how to explain it, but I was like, oh, they all look like they could be in nursing school.
Dude,
You know what I
totally.
mean? Like,
Totally.
I thought it was gonna be like Betty Boop, like, come on in,
Right.
a little mystery with like a
Yes.
silhouette. No,
Yeah.
they're standing in like an empty storefront. Some
That's
of them were on
weird.
their phones.
That
I
is-
was like,
storefront's
okay,
The phones
That-
is crazy.
that
give
we
me
need
some
to-
respect.
That we haven't really talked about. Like the one section, and I didn't know this going in, so I'm sure if you're a listener and you know it, like you've heard of the red light district, you know all this. I didn't know about it. You walk down like alleyways, and they're standing in like glass doors that look like Barbie boxes.
They look-
It
yeah,
looks like they're a
little-
doll in a
little
box.
windows, yeah.
And I guess you just like say yes, like I choose
Yeah.
you. I don't even know
It's like
how
a
that
zoo.
would work. Yeah, it is.
think-
It's like
yeah.
a zoo, and they're happy to be there, I guess. And some of them are like super hot, and then some of them are like very regular looking people, and then some of them
Some
are
of them
not even
are-
good looking at all. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
wow, you just have like the choice of whatever you're into. But that, like, I'll do the show, I'll go to the strip club, and I won't judge anybody for doing anything. But
Heidelberg.
if you strut down a fucking alleyway and pick a chick out of a fucking glass box, we're getting into some weird territory. I
Definitely
think.
weird. Some of the girls had like lip fillers. I was freaked.
Oh.
I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
they're just girls. I don't even know how to describe it. But
Right.
once I realized they were just girls, I got freaked out.
I also didn't realize it's not expensive. So like I
Not
can't imagine
expensive.
how much they're making, and I don't know what like how much things
I
cost
think
over
the
there,
rent
but it's
is
like
cheap on those
so
places, though.
I would imagine. Well, it's only a
What's
10
it
by
cost
10
to rent
box.
a phone
So.
booth? Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, God, some of that made me like I was kind of like
I know someone who did get a service by one of the girls there, and he said she was really mean and really transactional, and he couldn't come.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the strippers were like, I said it was like a man-to-man defense. They showed up and it was like, you go with him, I'll go with him, you go with him. We're all gonna
Really?
ask for, like take us to the back, take us to the back.
When I was
because I think they just got no time for like, there's only so
No
many
way.
hours in a night.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna sit there and not do lap dances, like get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah. But I was
We
like,
know
okay,
you're
I'll get the
visiting.
fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm happy to leave then.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
That's as I was dodging the one. She got so annoyed with me, she knocked my hat off.
Yeah, they get like
Oh,
they
they're
were
violent.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
they were.
yeah.
they
it's
were
like
very,
Venus
and it's
flytraps.
also, it's like, all right, we're on your turf, so you can play by your rules or whatever.
Right.
But I was kind of like, okay, we're not just gonna drink beers or anything here. We gotta go.
Yeah, it's
the
very
fuck
like,
out.
you're here for one reason?
Yeah,
And it's to get dick sucked? You don't
I
want
guess
that?
it is like they're probably like, 90% of the guys walking through the door are looking for one thing. Why are we even dealing with the 10% who are like just
Right.
here to hang out?
Yeah.
Go to a
Right.
regular bar, you losers. It's
Yeah.
kind of true. It's like we're here
Yeah.
for we're horse. So go to the
Horse.
sports bar to watch sports. We're
And if you're
horse.
another guy getting serviced, you don't want 10 guys just drinking beers.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's a good point. If
We're
I
all-
was
we know
if
why
I was
we're all
down
here.
and out and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to the district and get some, and all you guys are just like talking about LeBron.
yeah.
No, Jordan's better because
Yeah.
he's never lost in the finals, and I'm like, oh, come on, man.
Well, Rogan had on fucking Conor McGregor, and that episode was crazy. They're like, I can't get hard.
So for you though,
yeah.
so then it was just like, I mean, it was a crazy party night because it was like a lot of booze and shit like that, but it's not like the rest of it. Just like take it or leave it, right?
Yeah. I think
Like, would you go back?
I would go
Oh,
back
okay.
for like a while, but like 5 days.
Yeah.
Chill.
that
I'm
you
not. Yeah. I got property in Amsterdam. It's about to be
I
flooded.
would like to have like seen.
Yeah.
I probably would have done I didn't do the mushrooms because I don't do them, so I was like, I don't want to do anything too foreign to me because I'll like fuck up my night.
Right.
But if I was there for a little while longer and it was like, all right, I'm gonna go to like a nice part of town and get the
Yeah.
pancakes and be all lined up and
Yeah.
everything. That it was. Did you go to the Anne Frank house,
No, I didn't do shit.
dude?
The
Yeah,
day
you
that
were
we
truly
went out-
like
Yeah.
in and
so
out,
The day
and you
that
had to work and
we-
everything too.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know why I went to London. That pissed me off. I was like, you can't be cranky in London. I was cranky in London. I was like, there's no fucking
Yo,
Rite Aids.
cranky in London is
Yeah.
a great phrase. I was cranky
Yeah.
in London, man.
Really, but the day that we first got there, I just went so hard
Yeah.
that the next day I woke
You-
up at like 3 p.m.
You were.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
you,
did I. And we'll go too.
Yeah. And then we
you
went to the
went,
show
like,
that night.
I mean, you went beer for beer, shot for shot, joint for joint,
Yeah.
the whole nine.
Yeah, I did the whole thing.
You were impressive.
I think
It
that was like the
wild.
hardest I've ever partied.
Was
and
it?
for
Because
the
I was like,
longest
I
I've
was.
ever partied.
I,
I think,
I get the impression you can hang,
yeah.
but I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
Maddie Smith can go.
Oh, I can fucking go. And then
Dude, it was
that's
funny,
how I
though.
trap guys in. I go hard, and then the minute we're dating, I'm like, so I'm sober.
The funniest part for me was we smoked those joints at the very first bar, and I watched.
Oh, yeah.
You get high like that.
And a second.
her eyes were open and they were half closed like that. It was like, boom, high. And you said something that like, made like very little sense, and you started laughing, and you were like, I'm so high.
I was freaking
and I was
out.
like, it's 10:10.
I know,
We got
I-
like 12 hours to go, but then you made it.
I know that's what happened. I got a little spark too early on, and
Yeah.
I think it was definitely showing in the Chinese restaurant.
Oh, you were
You guys
saying
told
shit
him about-
in Chinese restaurant that made no sense.
No
The
sense.
lazy Susan, you were like spinning the lazy.
Yes.
Like, this is amazing.
I was spinning the lazy. So we were just high in beer, and I didn't sleep on the flight. We got to Amsterdam. I was like, I didn't sleep a wink. Yeah, you're gonna get fucked up early then. There was like at one point I gave someone a soup dumpling, and it was attached to a spoon. You know the spoon.
Yeah,
And
you were
I
trying to
tried
get
to
it out
rip
of the
it
spoon.
off, and it went
Everyone's
everywhere.
like, leave it, Natty, leave
And
it.
I was like, what are you taking it about? It's in a spoon. So I got fucked up early. And then in my brain, I was like, if you keep going this hard, you're going to black the fuck out. So chill for a second. Don't make a fool of yourself. By the way, there's cameras everywhere. And so
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
was-
yeah, let's go hard on camera. Like a fucking idiot.
We were like, we had to document everything.
No, yeah, no, totally. But
But
that's-
also, like, I didn't know Bert's team does, like, Barstool, we've always,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
if you're
yeah.
going somewhere, there's a camera in your face.
Totally.
Phone in your face.
Yeah.
We just always do that. But Bert's team does that as well. Like, even just walking down the street
Yeah.
to the next spot, getting
Yeah.
B-roll, just constantly cameras, and I was
Yes.
just like, oh,
It was a lot.
do I sign a waiver for this?
No, literally. And I was so high, and all I could picture was like, because Bert's like storytelling, like punchlines, blah blah blah, and I kept going in and out of high. So on the back of whatever B-roll you guys have, it's just gonna be me being like realizing I'm supposed to be paying attention. So I'm like going this way, and then everyone will laugh. I'm like,
totally.
I'm right next to Bert too. I was everyone's like surrounding Bert, like Gandalf came to town, like, kneeling next to him, like, oh yes, tell us about the time in Copenhagen. Just holding court, like so many joints being passed around.
Dude,
so,
he
yeah.
does. I mean, he's, what? I think he just turned 50 or 52 or something like
Yeah.
that. And he lived, he worked for the Travel Channel, and he's just a party man. So, like, I mean, that dude has stories.
Yes,
Endless.
for days.
Endless amounts of stories from every corner of the world.
And they're
like, I
good
can tell a lot of stories. They're all going to come from, like, Murray Hill and the Village. You know?
Literally.
He's got stories from the Amazon and this and that. It's fun to party with him.
And his stories are like well thought out
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah. I'm always
There's
like, it's like,
Will I tell a story?
well, you're a woman, you know.
I know. We're bad girl on a guy's trip.
Yeah.
Did you guys talk
She got
about that?
so mad about that.
I know. I don't think she knew the context.
I didn't either. I was like, it's been a joke for like, it's actually a dead joke that we have beaten to death at Barstool already. But she said, did you just say girls on a guy's trip? I was like, yeah. She's like, I'm going to kill you.
She was like, FYI, you're on our trip.
I was like,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. By the time that we saw Connolly from Entourage,
Yeah.
I was on like a different planet.
Yeah.
And that was like the end of the night.
That was funny
That was
because you
crazy.
were on a different planet
Yeah.
and you just kept being like, Entourage! Like, it was almost like
I've
I
never
think
seen
you
the
like
show.
thought you were like having
never
a
watched the
fucking
show.
hallucination. You were just like, you're E. What the fuck is going on?
I never seen the show.
Never?
Yeah.
Like one episode?
Literally. And I kept being like,
That's almost impossible.
Yeah. it is.
Like out of all the shows of our generation,
yeah.
having not seen one episode of Entourage is pretty crazy.
I only started watching Curb recently. I feel like all
Really?
those are like kind of guy shows. I'm like,
I mean, Entourage definitely.
Curb's
but
not.
Curb, I
Curb's
don't
like
think
Seinfeld.
so.
I know.
You think that's his guy show?
Yeah.
Really?
I just have I'm like Sex in the City.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
newly into the other stuff.
Are you
Unfortunately,
really?
it's
You watch,
better
like-
than the girl
What's
stuff.
like your favorite? Yeah, I was gonna say.
You ever start watching guy stuff and you're like, fuck, they're smart. Wait a second. I'm listening. Yeah, so I never, but I'll watch it because I met the guy. So was he just like vibing in the red light district?
So no, he was already there for work.
Oh, he was working.
And was
Okay,
like,
okay.
I'm gonna pop in and just say hi to you guys. He had a flight
Got
9
it.
a.m. that next day.
Yes.
So he was like, I just want to come say hi.
Okay.
And he did more than that. He stayed for
Yeah.
quite a while.
Okay, I thought we just ran into him
no,
at the Banana
no, no.
Club.
That
I was
would
like,
be
pervert.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I took the shrooms, and the shrooms, I think, actually changed my night. Because
For the
without the
better or the
shrooms, I
worse?
would have blacked out too early on, got really sloppy. But when I started taking the shrooms, it kind of leveled me.
Yeah.
It just made me
Really?
super chatty for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
It made me super pukey.
Yeah. I saw you puke. I pretended I didn't.
Oh, you saw me?
Yeah.
I love people who do that. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see anything. Man.
Yeah, I was like, do you need any currency exchange? And I was just like, kept on. And then the next day they were making fun of you. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it too. But there was such a mixture of drugs and I don't know. There's so much weed there too. And when I bought weed with a girl, Tasha, our Serbian host
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the curly hair, and they're
This girl
really,
looked exactly, I think, like the girl from White Lotus.
White
season 2.
Lotus.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Oh,
did.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And she dressed like her.
Yeah, she had the whole
She had
vibe
like a bucket
her.
hat that said like
Yep.
in rhinestones, like sweet.
Yes.
I was like obsessed with you. So I zoomed in on her, and then her and I just like ran around all day. And then at the first place, the Bulldog, we bought weed. And so you had to go downstairs. And I'm stupid. I'm just like, so Bert's like, get us something giggly. So what do? I go up to the front. Like everyone there's like, oh, he tries to go in with a camera. They're like, no
they don't
camera.
fuck
So
around with
immediately
cameras.
they know we're fucking white trash Americans. Just
Yeah.
being like, well, let's see what it's like to buy weed in Amsterdam.
right.
Everyone's just there trying to fucking not have an existential crisis. And I was like, can I have something that's like a little bubbly, maybe pre-roll? Because I'm not really good at rolling. And
Like,
just
we
goofy,
eat your
vibey.
nuts.
And he's like, you're saying something like, you're saying everything that I don't need to know. What do you want? And then I was like, I don't know. And then Tasha had to step in. But then later, I went to the Bulldog again and bought more weed, and I told him exactly what I wanted.
That's
and
what's up.
fucking
Learning
made it up.
experience.
Said it in a Dutch accent.
Say it with your chest.
Yeah. Now we're dating. So it's pretty cool.
How is the comedy side of things? Like that theater looked pretty fucking amazing.
That was horrifying. I think I talk a little too fast for Dutch people.
You
honest.
had a moment backstage. You were like solo, kind of just like getting in the vibe, and I was like, and I think you were pretty stoned, right?
Not before the show.
Oh, okay. So
No,
you were just
yeah.
in that moment
Waited
you were-
on it,
and
but
I was just like,
hungover.
are you what are you thinking? And you were like, I'm not sure they're gonna understand me. And I was like, I thought about that before. When you're overseas, obviously they speak English, but do they get all the jokes and do they get like the references? And you go, oh no, I'm not talking about language. They're not gonna get me. And
I was like,
oh,
I was
okay.
like, no, they can speak English. I think they're just not gonna get it.
I think you're crazy. I mean, I thought you murdered it.
I thought it was
Everybody,
fun, but I definitely
I thought the
feel
crowd
like
was laughing.
it
I thought
was-
everyone was like loving it.
I think I'm too fast.
You are
Really.
fast though. When
Yeah.
it's very unique. I don't know anybody else who kind of does it, but it's like
Yeah.
rapid fire. It's
try to
almost like
keep
you're
it
rapping,
moving.
like you're spitting them, blah, 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 you do the thing with the
Oh.
tongue, and it's like, whoa.
Well, I'm on Wild and Out.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
It's kind
does
of like
that make sense though? You think that like that? Yeah,
Tell-ish, just like keep it moving.
Yes, very little
lots of
like
jokes.
downtime.
Downtime, nothing's really serious.
Yeah.
There's no substance to my comedy. So if you guys come out, you won't change anything about the way you think, but you will know what my body count is. So anyway, I think I was just like a lot for Amsterdam.
Yeah, they were.
Which is interesting to say.
Yeah.
They seem like a more, they're very like put together. I don't know how to say it.
You know what was weird was like I thought like the civilians all looked like beautiful and like put
Yeah.
together, and then it was like it's like how why don't we put you guys in the glass boxes? How
Yeah,
come you're not the strippers?
some
The
of
fuck?
our like servers, like we were at that one bar right after the pancake in the casino.
Yeah,
And then we were at that bar just drinking.
The
We were like,
lips?
we're gonna go
The girl with
shower.
the lips?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
someone who was there with us, his name rhymes with Schmirt, said, everyone here is fucking beautiful. And then someone else was like, yeah, the girls have like upper lips. I was like, okay, new insecurity unlocked. But our server, like, she had lips like that, like
she
went
had that
over like
shit for
this.
real, yeah.
She looked kind of like Avatar-ish. The girls were cute
she was
there.
she was stunning.
The girl,
Yeah.
there was a girl at the roulette table who was just by herself, just probably a gambling addict, just fucking putting
Yeah.
shit down. And I was like, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen in my life. I was like, let
Yeah.
me just like get you an Instagram account and you'll be fucking
Literally.
rich by like tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Like, you don't need to be gambling like $5 at the roulette table on a
Yeah.
Wednesday in fucking Amsterdam. We will make
Exactly.
you rich tomorrow.
That was what I noticed about Amsterdam and maybe even just Europe in general. Like the poor people are also hot. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Here it's only the wealthy, us three. No, but here if like they went to like a casino in like middle of Pennsylvania, they would see the ugliest motherfuckers of their
Oh,
life.
yeah, big time.
But in
Big
Amsterdam,
time.
that's where the ugly
the
people are supposed to be, and they're
homeless are
still
hot.
gorgeous.
Yeah, that was a bit Louis did at the garden we went to on Saturday night. He was like, the homeless people, you're not allowed to get in. If you don't have a home, you don't get into anybody else's home. He was like, even if you
Yeah.
got enough money to get a ticket in here, we wouldn't let you in. There's no homeless here. He was like, there's tons of homeless people in New York City. No, not in here. No, we're safe. Don't worry. It was great.
Yeah, seriously.
But that was that I was saying, like, getting a crowd like cheering and laughing for you overseas, I feel like is like all the people recognizing Bert is crazy to me. It's like you're
Insane.
getting recognized in another fucking country.
That's what you were saying,
And
yeah.
even getting like a laugh. By the end of the trip, I wanted just one person, and a couple guys kept coming up to us, and I would be like. And they'd be like, yo, what's up, bro? And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
you're traveling abroad or whatever.
Yeah,
and then finally at the show, there was one guy who was like, the KFC?
Yeah.
The KFC radio? And I was like, yes, we got one. We got one who knows us.
He's like, I'm from Michigan.
That's all
Kidding. Yeah, Bert, like people recognizing you overseas is
He's the fucking
crazy.
god, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There were a lot
Selling
too,
out
like
theaters.
everywhere.
Lot, dude.
And then they went the next night to somewhere 100 miles away and sold that
Same
shit out
shit.
too.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah, those guys are wild, man. Are you paying the price now? You like back to
Yes.
normal? I feel like
I'm
we have
still
to send you to
paying
the
the
hospital
price
after this.
I'm paying the. I'm considering.
Yeah.
Like,
I know. I was like, we got to get through this
Yeah.
this recap episode. It's a big one for us, and
Yeah.
everyone wants to hear it. And then we'll send John to the ER.
Yeah. So did you drink a lot on the day that we partied?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I drank a lot.
I mean, John is a fucking. So when this trip started, I was like, I'm very nervous. I don't party anymore.
Right.
And Bert, obviously, people know Bert's. Like, I was like, this guy can go toe to toe with anybody in the world, as long,
We
whatever.
should do a case race. You and I.
That would be a team.
That'd be fun.
That would be a
That'd
fucking
fun.
team.
We're done in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We're bored.
Not even buzzed. What's going on
Yeah, what
here?
the hell?
But so I was like, John will be absolutely fine doing this. Maybe throw up on an Asian woman. That's about it. So like, John could have kept going.
Into the tiniest trash can, I might
Yeah.
say.
Like,
Wasn't it a trash can with a hole on
Yeah.
top? Yeah.
and he nailed it. He got one little bit missed, but the rest of it was
Right.
like. It was like
Yeah.
there was a magnet in there, just
Yeah.
sucking it in.
Recycling only, no problem.
But yeah, I mean, we got home, and then the next night was Louis, and we hit the bar pretty early for that too. So we've really been, and then you went out for football yesterday.
Yeah.
So like John hasn't stopped.
Right. I know. I drank
regret it.
yesterday. I drank. Yeah. I feel like shit today as well.
I feel like shit.
Yeah.
I feel really bad.
I went right to.
I haven't felt like this since England. Since like
And
Yeah.
that was bad.
yeah, that was really bad.
Do you went to the
Yeah.
hospital for that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Then
You
we probably
need
should.
sleep.
I
Sleep.
went right from the airport to my son's karate belt ceremony, and a lot of people were sending me the meme of like where there's the guy partying and it's the guy off in the corner, and it was like they don't know that I just saw a live sex show.
Oh yeah.
And then the people at the thing, the bubble just said, "We're at a karate belt ceremony, dude." Or whatever. And then they had basketball the next morning.
Oh my god.
And then Louis at night. And then
Jeez.
Keegan had strep throat. Like I haven't really stopped either, but not drinking. I just
My God.
life came back and fucking whacked me in the face.
My IUD is cramping up right now. It's awful. I just kept drinking. Wait, KFC. I was actually impressed because if you say you don't party, you were just like vibing with people who were like fucked up the whole time.
No. Don't get me wrong. I partied. Like I stopped partying. I
Yes.
used to party when I was younger, and I stopped. And I was like, I don't know how much. When I do go out now, I have a martini, whatever, some wine, keep it light. But I was like, all right, I'm gonna dig back and like we'll see. But that type of partying I can do.
Yeah.
Like it was cool. It was
Yeah.
just smoking some weed and
Yeah,
drinking
yeah.
some beers. If we were starting to really rip shots and do that kind of shit, I probably would have like tapped out early.
Yeah.
Also, I'll say this. I will admit this. Everywhere in Amsterdam does small, medium, large beers.
It was so funny.
Which I liked, though,
Yeah, we were in
because
that one place. They were like, big or small? I'm like, big beer.
Yeah. But every time you guys went big beer, I would just get a medium.
Yeah.
So I could go round for round with everybody and just kind of be a little bit of a pussy
That's
and drink
actually true.
mediums.
Yeah.
Because when you're getting
smalls are
skipped
this big.
entirely,
Yeah.
it's like you're not drinking with us, you're not partying
I know,
with
I
us, you
hate that.
suck. When it's just like you guys drink more than me and faster than me, but every time I'm ready to go for
Yeah.
another one, I was like, we should all do this at every bar. This
I
is
know,
great.
the small, medium, large was awesome.
Small is a little unnecessary. It should just be big and small, or two sizes.
I know.
But
There was one
because
point-
ordering if you order a small, you're a pussy. Come on.
I know.
Medium, you're a
small
pussy.
is
Small,
big.
you're a faggot.
Wait, there was one I didn't realize because I was so like high all day. Like I didn't realize the beers were small until I sent a photo to my friend, and they're like, "Why is the glasses so small?" And then I was on Shrooms, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's a tiny beer!
Gulliver's Travels type shit.
What is
I'm a
this?"
giant.
Like start growing. It's crazy. But we were we were in that bar right after the casino, and I felt like everyone was just fucked up, and KFC's just sitting there like in a good way, just like still totally coherent. And I was like, oh, he's still alive. He's still in the normal world.
I paced myself well
impressed.
and hit my it's also very nice when you in a place where you can smoke weed, you can be like, I don't want to drink anymore because I'm getting high and I don't want to ruin my high.
Yeah.
If you're just at a regular American bar where all you do is drink, it's like, why aren't you drinking? Drink more.
Right.
It's like I can be like, no, I just had an edible or I just smoked,
totally.
whatever. So yeah, I was proud of myself.
Yeah, I
I-
like the weed. I like having weed in bars.
That's
I know that
is
doesn't
a
sound
very,
groundbreaking, but
very, very cool thing.
really cool.
And it's also like it's fine. I don't know
It's
if like
literally
in
fine.
America people think it's gonna like degenerate and society's gonna fall apart.
Right.
It was like this is a regular ass city.
regular ass city, and it's
There's
just like
a couple
be-
extra candy stores and the
Yeah.
rubber ducky stores.
Yeah, what's that about?
There
Is
were
that like-
multiple storefronts with just shelves and rows and rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of rubber duckies.
Yeah.
At first I was like, are those like you can smoke out of them?
Right.
Are they something I don't know what they're no, just a fucking rubber ducky.
Yeah,
Rubber fucking ducky.
I have no idea. Maybe something.
That was cooler than the
don't
Anne
know.
Frank house. The Anne Frank house was the only thing.
Oh
worse
yeah,
than
so
that.
you guys went to the Anne
No.
Frank
Well, we
house?
went outside the Anne Frank house.
Oh,
I wanted
okay.
more of those fucking pancakes.
Oh, yeah,
And I
yeah,
was
I saw you
told
got
that
some
the
more.
best pancake spot is right next to
At
the
the
Anne
Anne
Frank
Frank house?
which is a little weird. Imagine being like, "Yo, I just need like the best burger in town." Like it's right next to the 9/11 memorial.
Yeah.
Just hit up the towers. It's juicy. The fries are crispy. It's great.
Yeah, I need the
But-
matzo ball soup. It's right next to Auschwitz.
But we were there, and I'm so stupid. I always, when I was a kid and up until I was an adult, I thought of the Anne Frank house as like a house in like the rolling hills, like
Right.
Sound of Music, like a little
Right.
cottage in a
Right.
green field. And then I realized when they were like, it's in Amsterdam, I was like, oh wow, it's like a city, it's like an apartment. But then even still, when I saw it, it looks like a new apartment complex in Jersey City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like a place that, I'll be honest, Anne
Yeah.
Frank had it pretty good. It looks like a place that you would probably have to
Ooh,
pay
a
about.
balcony?
You would probably have to pay about like $4,300 a month to live in Anne Frank's house. Yeah,
Literally.
You got
There's a
an attic,
rooftop.
girl, and a
Yeah.
basement, and a couple rooms.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't believe. I guess when you go inside, it's still like
Preserved.
but that makes me think it's fake.
Right.
Like you're telling me you renovated all this shit and just like left this one little thing alone. Like,
Because
I
didn't
think
they
this is a
find her
set.
shit like
It's
way
basically-
later?
I
Or
would
no?
assume, right? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm very
not good at
uneducated
history.
about it.
Every time I go to a historic site, I'm like,
All I know
wish
is
I
there
had a
was
boyfriend to tell me what happened here. I went to the Alamo. I was like, I have no idea what happened.
Alamo.
I'm like stupid. I don't know what. I don't know who Anne Frank is. I thought she was an influencer. But, I thought
She's a believer.
That is
she's
a great.
believer.
That was an all-time.
I thought
line.
I thought they found her shit later.
They might have. They
Right?
probably did.
So
I
maybe
don't
they're
think you're
just-
wrong on
They're
that.
just
but
guessing that was where it was.
They put a coffee shop like in like the bottom floor of the Anne Frank building is a coffee shop with glass windows where you can just see everyone like drinking and eating. I'm like,
Completely full.
This seems
like full house at
Yeah.
the coffee shop. Everyone
seems a
just
little bit
doing their business.
disrespectful.
Writing your screenplay.
Probably smoking weed. You
Yeah,
know, it's like
yeah.
what the fuck is going on?
Totally.
The very funny bit that Bert tells on stage and had to do it in Amsterdam is that he thought Anne Frank was Helen Keller.
I know, it's so funny.
Which is they are similar for
Yeah.
some reason. They feel like
Yeah, for some-
girls that
I
you
know.
learned about in school that you're like, whoa, this is fucked up.
Is that the blind one?
Who would you
Yeah.
rather be?
Helen Keller, I
Probably
guess.
Helen Keller. Yeah.
Considering
She
that,
seemed happy.
Considering that was a fucking a lie. I'll
Right.
pick Helen. Helen.
Right.
Helen was fine. Helen was like needed contacts and was like a little bit hard of hearing.
I'm like, have you
I'm
heard of
basically Helen
LASIK?
Keller.
Yeah.
Bitch, get LASIK and like read lips a little bit. Come
Yeah,
on.
literally.
fucking
Grow up.
break,
Grow up.
Helen.
Anne Frank seemed hungry a lot. And that would be hard. You know what I mean? Speaking of, the hotel we stayed at was bomb.
Yeah, it was a
What the fuck?
palace.
That was probably the nicest hotel I've ever stayed at.
It was not even. It was like the. You know, I felt like it was like for kings and queens and
Yeah.
shit. And then eventually they were like, let the commoners stay in here. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I
Yeah.
had like a big fucking window. Like
Yeah.
open it up and it was like there was like birds flying
Yeah.
and a fucking like a steeple of a church or some
Yeah.
shit. And I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This is unbelievable.
I heard, for those who want some Amsterdam tea, Tasha said there's a huge mouse problem in Amsterdam.
Word.
Every apartment
Really?
has a cat, and every shop has a cat. Every cheese shop has mice running through it.
Really?
Because of the canals. Yeah.
Ah,
that makes
yeah.
sense.
So
Sounds like a Disney movie.
Yeah,
There's
the mice
little
are
mice
probably
running
like,
around the
the mice
streets of
wear
Amsterdam.
hats. Yeah.
They have little mustaches and they smoke weed.
Yeah.
Hello, you're the mice of Amsterdam.
I'm feeling weird. The morning we left, I got like a smoked salmon platter for room service.
You fancy,
Yeah,
huh?
she was bomb. Yeah, a little smoked salmon, a little rye bread, and those pancakes were good too.
Oh God, I love them. It was the trip of a lifetime. That's for certain.
It was a good trip.
I can't believe, like, for me, that's like, probably it. But you'll probably go back on tour and do
Yeah.
another European tour and do
Definitely.
that again. And it's like, that's just your life.
Right. And that
Especially if you're
sucks.
down
I'm
for
really
it.
tired
Tired all the time.
all the time. Yeah.
Well, it was an all timer. We might have lost John. This may be it for him.
It might be it.
But if
Might be
it was,
Really?
it was a good run.
Really?
Yeah.
We went out
I
on
might
top.
die right now.
Oh no.
It'll say
You just need one night of sleep.
That's what we were saying. Like tomorrow we're not working. Tomorrow we're
Yeah.
taking off. 'cause-
Yeah, take off.
it'll say, "Here lies John with a stiletto in his ass."
Oh my god.
Bury
that-
me with a stiletto in my ass.
Did that hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
it hurt
totally.
And
pretty good.
was there any like sanitizing before it went in your mouth?
None
Or-
whatsoever.
Really?
Nope.
Went straight ATM.
Oh my god.
Yep. Right out of my
I've been
ass, right in
my
mouth.
favorite part of the whole fucking story is he came down and what he was trying to ask was the same one that was in my ass, the one in
Right,
my mouth.
right.
But he just said to us, "Was that in my ass?" And me and Nick were like, "You tell us, man. We don't know. You're the one with the asshole being penetrated."
Oh my
It
God. Dude, was she wearing the stiletto?
Yep.
Oh, so she
So yeah.
stepped up, put it in your ass.
It went from the streets of Amsterdam
Right.
to the floor of a whorehouse,
Right.
to John's asshole,
Right.
to his mouth.
Wow. Dude,
It's a banana
MVP.
bar.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't go.
Yeah.
It could have been my ass.
Imagine.
And I don't do butt stuff. So.
Imagine if we were just like, "No, give it to Maddie."
Right, I know, right? She can take it.
What if Maddie was the one doing it? What if Maddie was like, "Oh, I'll participate.
I know.
Give me that shit."
Yes. Oh my God. That'd
Dark.
be crazy.
That would have been great.
Yeah, that's why I didn't go because I thought they were gonna pluck me out and make me do some crazy stuff.
Imagine if it was just like, "Did Maddie just rape John?" Maddie Smith raped John Heidelberg.
No, he wanted it. Look what he's wearing. Come
You're
on.
asking for it. All right. Well, thank you for coming and giving your side of things.
Yes,
and
thanks for having
John, you go to the hospital. Last thing, real quick. So I did a little shopping at. I love this brand, Filling Pieces, and it's a European brand. And so I've ordered a couple things online, a couple sneakers, but I've never actually been able to shop in the storefront. So as I was walking around, I found it and I went ham and I just bought like 2 pairs of sneakers and a jacket, a couple shirts. And they had some rule that if you spent like over, it wasn't that much. I think it was like over like $250 or $300.
$350, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It was cheap there
No
too,
big deal.
right?
It actually
Yeah.
was. It was not like, usually if you buy some of these streetwear brands are like $100 for just like a t-shirt. I was
Yeah.
getting like sneakers and
Everything was
jackets and
cheap.
shit for like, yeah.
I
it
brought
was-
$1,000 in cash. I came home with like $950.
well, that's also because we went with Bert Kreischer.
I know, that's
I don't
true,
know if
that's
that's
true,
the
that's
prices or the fact that we went with a
That's
baller.
true. That's very true.
But they were like, anybody who spends over $350 gets a fucking skateboard. So they are designed. I'll be honest, the one that was on display was like white and gray and much cooler than this.
Yeah.
But they, I think he kind of just did like 100 boards and like spray painted them or whatever.
Yeah.
And however they came out, they came out. So this is the one they gave me. It's number
That's sick.
81 out of 100. But this is how they wrote it. And I don't know if you can see that. But when they showed it to me, I was like,
87.
how fucked am I? I was like, I don't know what number that is. I was like,
Yeah, their
I
ones
was
are
like
weird.
8 upside
Yeah.
down V. So that was 81 out of 100. Don't skateboard at all. Furthest thing from it. But
Me neither.
I'm leaving the travel. It's an odd size baggage. I couldn't check it. They said it's a weapon.
Oh.
So they put all these stickers on it. They shipped it separately. And I want everybody who was on the trip to sign it, and then I can put it up in the studio.
Absolutely.
So I'm leaving all the stickers on. So I got to get you two to sign it, and then next time I see Shane and Mark and Bert, we'll get them to sign it, and this will be the Amsterdam skateboard.
Awesome.
So cool way to end the trip.
What's the bottom? Oh, sorry. KLM? Is that their like?
That was like we were flying Delta, but when we went there,
There's a
they were like
plane.
KLM Airlines. I was
Yeah.
like, does Delta have like a studio name, like a pen name or something?
No, we look really stupid. We're like,
Yeah.
I don't know, Anne Frank. Like, we don't deserve to travel.
We're
Europe.
always dumb here.
This
so
is
it's all
awesome.
good.
No, I'm so
Yeah, it's
dumb.
pretty
This is
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, so
Wow.
we'll get you a pen. You can sign it.
And we'll get
put it
Anne
in
Frank
the
to
studio.
sign it too. Yes. And the stiletto stripper. We'll find her. We'll find her.
I'm pretty sure if it smells,
That's a dry erase, I think.
so that's not good.
Let me, hold it up. Yeah, no, that's just for that.
That's
board.
gonna
That'll
wipe off.
Okay,
right off.
well,
We'll
get
find
it
one. We'll find
eventually.
one.
Yeah,
I'll pretend for the camera. There you go.
Amazing! I got Maddie Smith's autograph. All right, thank you, Maddie. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So fun. Time to sleep. Yeah.
Oh, Maddie, do you want to plug anything?
Oh, MaddieSmithComedy.com.
Got it.
That's fine.
Make sure you subscribe to KFC Radio on YouTube to get all the video content. Subscribe, comment, like, and make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you know whenever new video content drops.
I want to say something, but the video has to be fast, so that's it.